Look, Clarence, mate, it doesn't matter how many times we get beat down. What matters is that we get the fuck up, and we keep fucking trying. You're right, Donny. Now, who the fuck are you, mate? I'm Clarence Claymore. Who the fuck are you, mate? I'm Clarence Claymore. Say it with your fucking chest. I'm Clarence Claymore. Show me what you got, mate. Take that. Fucking touch me, cunt. Fuck, mate. We got a lot of work to do.
Good afternoon.
Guys, I really can't wait for the World Cup. Who do you think's gonna win it?
My dad said Brazil will win.
No. Argentina's gonna win because Messi will draw past everyone.
I wish Spain will win. My whole family supports them.
How about you, Andy?
I hope Germany will win.
Why?
My dad bet all my savings on them.
Germany are champions of the world once again.
Just put in 30% of your entire portfolio into this meme coin, which is pretty much held by snipers.
Who are the snipers? Go get the snipers. Go arrest the snipers.
We don't know who they are, but they're dumping on you. Do you want to sell here, Mr. Expert, or what should we do?
What? I don't even know how to sell. I've never sold in my life.
Well, what we can do is we can monitor what the whales are doing.
What the?
If the whales are selling...
Now there's whales involved. What the hell are you talking about? Can you guys speak to me a bit on English?
Okay, so we have influencers, insiders, whales, snipers.
Imagine selling now. Honestly, man. Fucking imagine it. Looking at your fucking kids in the eyes and being like, you know what? I'm real sorry, my youths. Daddy fucking went and got a sex change. You know what I mean? No more big dick. Daddy got a fat pussy now, okay? You're a fucking weakling. Fuck that, man. I can't look my children in the eyes knowing that daddy fucking sold on dumps. On fucking dumps, man. You fucking idiots. Who the fuck is selling? I don't know anyone selling. My team ain't selling. I know bag hunters ain't fucking selling. Gem hunters ain't selling. So who the fuck is selling? Michael Saylor buying. Grayscale buying. Elon Musk on the Tesla cash flow fund is buying. So who the fuck is selling? I tell you who's selling. Little weak-hand pussios that didn't even fucking want to be in this game anyway. Didn't understand it. I'm in it for the deck. Fuck off, mate. You ain't...
Hey Jackson, you want to come to the beach?
Yeah, but you've got to drive though.
Why can't you drive? I drove last time.
I sold my car.
Why did you sell your car?
I needed some cash for Bitcoin. I thought it was in a dip.
You sold your car.
Don't even worry, Lachlan. I'll be able to buy a brand new BMW with the gains I'm gonna make. Don't even fret.
I'm gonna fret. That's the last thing you had. You don't have anything left.
Stop fretting. I've got plenty of money. It's just all in crypto. I'm investing.
That's not investing. What if it falls?
It's the future, Lachlan. Why are you all up in my ass about it?
I'm up your ass because I have to buy you lunch every time we go out because you have no money.
My money is in a blockchain. It's all secure there.
You can't spend it. It's not currency.
It's digital currency.
Well then buy me a Subway.
I can't.
Why not?
They don't take Bitcoin, and also I don't want to spend it anyway.
You can't literally invest all the money you have. You have to keep some of it to be money.
But it's going to grow, Lachlan. You don't understand.
And what's the point of growing it if you're too scared to ever take it out?
Because I'm rich.
You're literally going to die a millionaire with no actual possessions.
I'd rather that than die poor.
I'd rather die poor and have spent all my money on life stuff than die technically rich, but all my money is in fucking Shiba Inu.
And NFTs.
Oh, for fuck's sake, do not get me started.
My NFT is gonna blow, you just wait.
You spent 30 grand on it.
It's a waiting game.
It's a bubble.
You're a bubble.
What?
You're a fucking bubble, mate.
How am I a bubble?
You're worth it.
You've got women and faggots on one side, and you got real niggas on the other. Real niggas. Real men. Real guys with real balls. That's the difference.
Why?
Well, let me ask you a question. Why do you think XRP still exists?
Because they have a great marketing team and a lot of money.
What do you think a lot of money from?
From selling their coin and their ICO, their initial offering, right? I mean,
listen, the XRP army care as much about their token as the Bitcoin army cares about theirs. It's just that simple.
It has gotten very tribal.
All crypto is tribal. Listen, I got a Bitcoin tattoo.
Do you still have your Terra Luna tattoo?
I got a Bitcoin tattoo right there. I got it at 20,000.
Do you still have your Terra Luna?
I got a Terra Luna tattoo there. Like these are tribal communities. And I used to be more of like, well, Bitcoin's digital gold and everything else needs a utility, right? Just like there's gold on the periodic table. The other 113 elements only have value because there's a utility, right? We use copper for stuff, right? That's why it's valuable. And I realized that was misguided thinking. What created Bitcoin and created this crypto movement was this breakdown in trust in the world. People don't trust religions. They don't trust governments. It started in 08, right? I mean, Satoshi wrote the paper post 08. And if you just graph trust since we started this journey, it's one directional, straight down. And so I get why Michael loves Bitcoin because that's his community. And I love Bitcoin too. But it's beyond a financial asset. It's a religion. It's a tribal movement. And it's the same thing that you're seeing. And I mean, look, Cardano has a $8 billion market cap and you can shit on Cardano and you get death threats. There's a community that cares about Cardano enough that it's kept up a valuation that defied most people's logic, right? XRP, Brad Garlinghouse has done an amazing job of creating, and I asked him a few times, I think, where does this XRP army come from? And he said, I'm not even sure. Like, they care about this thing. I mean, when they went through that lawsuit, this guy, Doug Deaton, who was the guy, Deaton? the lawyer. Then he ran for
John Deaton. Yeah.
John Deaton.
Yeah, he was on the show.
That guy was literally tweeting 9 times a day, fighting this case in court. He didn't even know the guys at Ripple originally. This was part of his community, and he thought this was an injustice done to his community. And so I think one of the things that crypto has added to investing in general is the idea that community is valuable.
Nobody knows about that fucking degenerate life when you're fucking down 40,000 and you battle the fuck back. You say, you know what? I'm a fucking strong, independent man. And you're not gonna tell me I should go to bed. I'm gonna battle the fuck back. And I'm gonna fucking get my money back. And guess what? I got my motherfucking money back. That's right.
But when you go all in on something, I would say that does take conviction. Now, your conviction might be
How many
coming from
chairs are you
first
sitting on
principles.
right now?
One.
Are you all in on the chair? The point really is you put on one pair of glasses. You've got one pair of AirPods right now. You're looking at me through one screen. You're using one microphone. That's a one microphone. Like, you trust it? Is that conviction? Seems kind of scary. Why don't you diversify? Why don't you use 10 microphones? The point really is things in your life. Do you drive in 10 cars at the same time or one car at one time? Do you drive down one street? Aren't you afraid that you're driving down one street? Do you take a different way? You know? So my point really is, if you're you get on one airplane, are you convicted? You put your entire family on the one airplane, aren't you afraid? Asset. Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? Right? There's no second best, okay? But take all your money, buy Bitcoin. Then take all your time, figure out how to borrow more money to buy more Bitcoin. Then take all your time and figure out what you can sell to buy Bitcoin. And if you absolutely love the thing that you don't want to sell it, go mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with it. And if you've got a business that you love because your family works for the business that's in your family for 37 years and you can't bear to sell it, mortgage it, finance it, and convert the proceeds into the hardest money on earth.
What is going on, you guys? It is Dollar Cost Crypto here with Ask Me Anything 1, 2, 3. Fed cuts are approaching. The Fed has reneged. The Fed has backed down. The Fed is changing the rules. God tier interviews. God tier intros. You guys have that post-pump clarity. My God. Good day, good evening, and good night. Here you guys, man. This is the markets, though. This is the markets that we are in.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, the Fed needs some tremblone. No, definitely. So, there was a meeting yesterday that happened that basically they explained that they're going to basically not care too much about the 2% interest rates anymore. The 2% inflation rates as much anymore. It's going to be kind of graded on a curve, more or less, where like if for some reason inflation goes down to like 1.5, that later on they could have the inflation as high as like 2.5 or even 3% for a little bit. and that being okay, that eventually they'll just more slowly kind of take it down. So essentially they've given themselves kind of permission to kind of cheat a little bit on one of their mandates, which was like 2% inflation and, you know, a lower jobs, you know, unemployment rate, basically. Simple terms, that's right. We're printing, ladies and gentlemen. We are printing. We had a nice little move on, before I get into all the other stuff, let me do a little crypto talk real quick. We had a nice little move back on Ethereum. Ethereum gained a little bit today. We're back up to $4,700. But the big one, big man blast, Solana moved up. So all the meme coins moved up. So if you're able to take a little bit of profits from the stream yesterday on Nobody, it dipped down to about 70. I think you had a chance to buy back in, or not. And if you didn't do anything, it didn't matter because the price went right back up. It made a brand new all-time high of 84. Now it's at 80 right now. So basically, Solana went up. So Nobody and Bert and everything else also went up. Pretty nice. Good day in the Solana trenches. Not bad. Let's see what's gained the most today. Kronos, of course, we talked about Arbiter. Off Ethereum's back. Nice little move on Avalanche, about $1 really. Solana, okay. What's done the worst? Sky, that is the new DAI coin, basically, or maker DAO. Mantle, Caspa. Caspa has disappointed me. They really have not done shit for a long time. But we'll see. I feel bad for all the Indians buying this. It's kind of crazy. Pi Network has a chokehold on the Indian population. It's kind of crazy, man. Oh, what's up? It's Crypto Sloth, man. CMC alumni. What's up, G? But yeah. Wait, what? I try to tell my friends to buy crypto, but he's hesitant. But he's not hesitant to pre-order 2K, NCAA, and Battlefield. Yeah. Sometimes, you know, like,
you've got women and faggots on one side, and you got real niggas on the other. Real niggas. Real men, real guys with real balls. That's the difference.
This is when you come to the Crypto Mindset meetup we're going to have next year. This is the discussion I'm going to have with you guys. There's these lady boys, and there's men with testicular fortitude. Nick is Hebrewing. I mean, Nick's got the pass, dogs. He's been given the pass, dog. I mean, enough people have given the pass from F and F to like everybody, bro. Oh shit, dude. So what's up, Papa Lockin? That's right, man. Nick said, you hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I told you I was going to nonstop. This is third day nonstop. Moon Gangs tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Magic. We stream it every day, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty crazy. Not bad. Let's see what Sonic's doing so far. Just taking a quick little peruse. Basically where we were yesterday. I think we're at 36, 34. There's some big whale, institutional whale that's buying up a ton of supply. I think there's a recent whale that's been buying about that just bought like $1.8 million worth of Sonic on Binance. Pretty good. Miguel only sleeps when he's dead. Dude, my sleep schedule's been fucked, man, but my workout schedule's been incredible. I've now, anyone from the Citadel, we talked a little bit last night on some workout stuff, but for the first time, I'm adding a brand new exercise to my chest day. It's mostly to like help me grow my triceps. I'm adding reverse bench to my so I'm doing like incline bench press, and then afterwards I'm going to like a flat bench reverse bench press, which is crazy because it was like, you know, like your chest days are pretty solid. It's kind of crazy, man. Ink end of year, $15 to $30. I'm all good. I have a bunch of ink that I had from back in the day. I haven't bought any, but I still have some. So all my inks for free. Lunch money, man. I haven't seen you in a while. What's up, G? I was telling my friends to buy crypto in 2023. They didn't want to buy. Now they got FOMO and they want to buy XRP, XLM, and 8. God damn it. God damn, dog. I'm gonna pour. This one's for your homies, dog. That is insane. Like, it's like they fell. It's like they fell for this right here.
Thing. Sometimes you gotta cut family members off, bro. If they don't see your vision and they don't align with it, you gotta cut them off. I called my grandma the other day and I told her about Forex, and she said, well, what do you want me to do? And I'm like, I need you to join, grandma. If you join right now for the low price of $355, we can be millionaires by next year. And she like 96, so she might not even see 97, but the thing is, it's like, she didn't believe in me, bro, because she said she only had $200. I had to cut her off, bro. That's what Forex is.
Slaves built the pyramids. Slaves built the Parthenon. Slaves built America. Slaves, this is your song. Thank you. Slaves. Thank you. Slaves. Thank you. Slaves. Slaves, this is your song. Thank you.
Someone's got to be exit liquidity, man. Someone's got to be exit liquidity. It's sad to say, man. I mean, I believe y'all. I believe y'all when you're saying you're trying to help these people out, man. We're just gonna have to help. We're just gonna have to help these motherfuckers out in 27, man. 27 is the GOAT year, dog. I'm a GOAT. 33 GOAT, man. I'm gonna fucking dominate in 27, dog. I think there's gonna be a bunch of I told you so's because like me and Charlie are gonna talk a lot of shit in 26 about like, hey, we sold the top, shit's crashing. Me and Gigi were right and shit's going down. And then in 27, people are gonna realize, oh shit, this Mexican's right. I almost said white boy from Nebraska. This white boy from Minnesota is right. Damn. We're doing all right. We're doing all right. Miguel live W? Always, bro. I mean, I'm always live. I mean, I very rarely do like pre-records, but I got an interview with someone coming up. It's pretty big. I'm going to Las Vegas and stuff for like, well, he's coming to Las Vegas, I should say, really, to do the interview and stuff. And then we got to edit it and everything like that. But yeah, man, I got some big interviews coming up and stuff. So I got some pre-records there. And then, yeah, man, it's going to be really, really cool. Yeah, I mean, actually, that's a great point, man. DCC, the state of Pulse Chain is getting better. We got an awesome bridge from Sol. Yeah, so we got a Sol bridge now because thanks for Liberty Swap, which is cool. The marketing company will start soon. Ethereum Rise is good, man. So what's your? I'm fucking happy, man. We're doing good. We're eating, bro. Obviously, I mean, you know, I've been surviving off of the meme coins, off Solana and Ethereum. Where else? I made some good money on some Pulse Chain ones and stuff, and when they were hot and pumped out tires and stuff. But yeah, man. Yeah, I'm a GOAT. Yeah, GOAT 91, 1991, 33 life path, born on the 9th. Good on that crypto shit. Adaptive. You know, Gigi had talked about doing a 33 club or some shit like that. We're like he's gonna have a giant meetup, only 33s. That's actually pretty cool, man. We eating chicken, man. Yeah, I mean, people, you know, something like I think people were kind of surprised. I mean, yeah, but like just to go back to the Pulse Chain and stuff, but like, yeah, I'm obviously I'm happy what's going on with Pulse Chain. Things are finally looking up. You know, there's good people involved. The marketing push is good. Any marketing is good marketing, except for like I think you know, I got to do a stream again with Money Gang. Fuck, there was such a funny meme of like I think we were saying like Bonnie Blue. You know what Bonnie Blue was doing the gangbang tour or whatever? Fuck, can you imagine? Like we were joking around. Can you imagine we made these guys tattoo Pulse Chain on a butt cheek? Some marketing is probably not worth it, but yeah. But things are looking up. The ecosystem's heading in the right direction. It's bottomed out. Or Bonnie Blue, yeah. Literally, we were like thinking, like, can you imagine if we tattooed, like, we got a temporary tattoo of Pulse Chain and Hex, and we made every guy put it on his back or on his ass cheek. So people are watching this Bonnie Blue degeneracy, and it was just the Pulse Chain tattoo and the Hex tattoo. Oh, fuck. Terrible. Terrible, bro. Oh man. Yeah, QR code on that ass. That's right. What's a better value buy between Anon and I'd probably say Anon right now. Anon's a little better of a buy. If I'm just I print profits, brother. I like Metro a lot. I got a good percentage of the Metro supply right now too. I've confirmed. But Anon's like all-time lows right now. It's like at $2. So like when it does rebound, it'll go up. I mean, I think it quickly goes back up to $8. So there's a good 4-banger and easy money in that right now. So is it too late to buy into nobody? I don't think so. No, but you're gonna have to trade it a little bit. But like, obviously, so the all-time high. Let me go dailies. So yesterday we had hit. I guess the daily didn't close from yesterday. Maybe I should go to the 15-minute. Maybe the 1 hour. Yeah. So on the last stream, right, we kind of hit 82. We hit a new all-time high of 84. We came down as low as like 79 just right now. And we're back at 81 right now. So obviously, I think this would have lost a little strength. because like we hit as low as 70, right? I sold some around here, and I could really buy back in and buy my supply. I didn't sell too much. I sold like 10%, like I told you guys. But I was gonna buy back here, but the dip wasn't big enough for me to like. Well, I mean, like it would have just gave me like an extra, I don't know, 5-7% more tokens, which I guess is okay, but like that's not that much really. But one of the reasons why it kind of held up so well is like we had a nice run up on Solana. So this is why I'm telling you, like when I've said that Solana at 220 meme season starts on Sol. Now, if we look over here on Solana, it's 204, right? If I look at the last like 7 days, right? So yesterday we were at 170. It oscillated right here. Kind of we were below 200, and today we're at $204. So us just breaking that $200 zone has like made everyone more bullish. You think I don't know. I don't think people realize. I know what I'm talking about, you guys. I really do. Yeah. 220 dogs. I've been telling how long I've been saying 220. Ladies and gentlemen, when does alt season start for the rest of crypto? What price of Ethereum? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. $5,200 Ethereum. Alt season starts. Why is that? Every motherfucker who was not in profit is in profit. When does Solana season start? It always starts a little earlier because of the memes. You're seeing it right now. So far, the early memes are getting the pumps right now. What is it? It's been nobody, and it's been Bert basically. Let me check Bert out right now. Let me see where Bert's at. Bert McGirt. Can it start sooner? It has a little bit on Sol. If you've ever been nobody, if you've been as heavy duty as we've been in nobody, like we have been in nobody since here. This is when I recommended everyone to buy nobody. We are now here. This is a $4 million to $3 million market cap to $76 million market cap.
How they legends, they doing podcasts. They said, we make more money than you, nigga. We sit here and make more money than you. I know you don't want to play the Cash App, open your bank account game on the phone when we see each other. I know you don't want to open your phones up and see how much niggas got in the account. You made $2 million.
I know you don't want no ATM battle, nigga.
Yeah, nigga don't want to, nigga, we make more money than you, nigga. You talking about, they podcast. Nigga, because we getting chicken. We make more money than you. You better come with, you want a job? We might got a job for you.
Yeah, we gave Kyle $25,000 just for nothing, man. Put the camera on Kyle. Put the camera on Kyle real quick. Kyle. I'm working on the edit right now with Kyle in there. Oh, damn, no, that's so funny. Drowning in sauce, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like button, bros, man. We got 160 people watching, I think, or 150 people watching. Hit the like button, you guys. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna splice that one with Kyle at the end there. It's gonna be Kyle inside the green room going like, "What's up, man? Thank you, man." I'm working on it right now. Man, we just threw Kyle 25,000 just for nothing, bro. Oh man, so funny. I remember that stream when it was on May 28th. Woo! May 28th? Was it really? Yeah, about 28th. Yep. Very nice. Very, 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 very nice. Kyle got, I got Kyle in on nobody at that $4 million market cap, which is really good. It was actually in April, you guys, but anyway, it's fine. Let's see what we got here, man. DC, also interesting. If you had the ETH Treasury, how would you go in terms of creating revenue streams? Do whatever with Pulse Chain. Let's pretend a total fantasy. Oh, that's a great question. So obviously, let's take a look at like where we're at in terms of the ETH strategic reserve, right? So this is a really great question, man. This guy's coming up with great questions. All right, so obviously I think he's talking about the Pulse Chain stack, right? So we've got about 166,300 and change Ethereum, essentially, right? Which is equal to right now about a little bit $7 million shy or $6.2 million shy of $800 million. So basically the main strat would be probably staking about like 100,000 to like probably 150,000 Ethereum of that, staking it in validators. And that 150,000 Ethereum would generate anywhere probably like 3% yield, give or take, right? So if we just do the quick math on that, right? Let me just do the quick math on that. So if that's correct, let's see. So basically that would generate roughly about let me just make sure that's fucking correct, just because I don't want to get the math wrong here, or too wrong, basically. So basically, that would generate about 4,500 Ethereum per year in yield. That yield could be used. So let's look again. Okay, so it's about 4,500 Ethereum would be 3% yield on 150,000 of that. Obviously, some will keep liquid just so you have some to move funds around for the SAC. One thing that the Pulse Chain SAC could do is just keep staking the yield every year and just keep growing the stack. So in about 1 year, this would grow to about 170,000. Next year 174,000, and just slowly over the years. I mean, like it creep towards 180 by the starting of the next bull run. Basically, that could be a strat right there for the Pulse Chain SAC wallet, where over like 3 years we can get about 12,000 Ethereum in the stack. Basically, not bad, right? The other strategy you could do with that is you use that money to essentially fund the ecosystem and pump the tokens effectively, right? So if I were to look at, like, let's just say at that income right there, right? Let's look at Ethereum. That's current price of Ethereum right now. That $4,500 of Ethereum would be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, about $21 million of purchasing power you would essentially get. To basically prop up coins, basically. Most pumps that happen in Pulse Chain have pretty much happened over about like $1 million to $3 million of purchases. So it sounds like, yeah, both strategies would be used. It makes more sense in the bear market to collect the Ethereum, basically, right? But as the prices are going up, like I think that Ethereum could just have been saved up, used and saved, and then put through, like what you want to do with them with the income is all that money to be put through Tornado.cash. And then the money to be bridged in over time when needed, basically, and to help just kind of like push along the system and increase prices, basically. So effectively, that $21 million equals up into about let me do that. The pulse chain SAC money could be used just interest alone off of just yield, about a $1,750,000 of purchasing power per month. That could be used strategically. Obviously, it doesn't have to be used every month. It'll be a strong month, and Ethereum's pumping. It's kind of stupid to use it at that point. But during like kind of muddled months, like that money can be saved up. Let's just say the money doesn't have to be used for 4 months, as an example. Then there's a $7 million buy that they could do. Brum, 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 to really spur along the economy. Essentially, could be used to pump the ink token to increase yields. That's a great way to kind of use the money, buy up a shit ton of the ink supply, 7 million ink, which that would be interesting, right? Let's look at that real quick, right? Let's look at ink real quick. Let's go to Pulse Chain. Where's ink? Ink right here, right? So we got the ink supply here, right? So let's just say the price. Let's just say the price is pumped a little bit. Ink's at $5, but let's just say it's right here. It's 7. They like 4 months from now, right? They're like ink's being used, right? 1, 2, 3, 1. So basically, at current price of $7 million would buy you about 3.6 million ink tokens. Probably because the price is higher in 4 months, it probably gets somewhere closer to like 1.5 million ink off the market. And that would significantly increase the price of the incentive token, which would probably take it around like $5, maybe even $6, which would increase the yield. And then in the back, the yield could be increased slowly and stuff like that. So that's something that could be used to kind of like incentivize liquidity pools again. Once we're in bull market mode again in Pulse Chain, the yields can increase on PulseX basically. Yes, so that's the other thing right there. RH is very cautious of security. He may not want to submit his ETH for yield due to a slight custodial risk. There is custodial risk to doing it, of course. Yeah, but I mean, he's custodial. I'm not worried about his custodial risk. It's more like because as long as nothing changes with Ethereum, like there's nothing they can do to attack his Ethereum basically. But his validators have to be on the up and up essentially. The Pulse 2 farms will increase exactly. Within the code, like the OA or Richard can essentially increase the amount of inflation that happens to ink. So he could just slightly increase the ink yield, and with the increase of the ink price, the yields. I mean, basically, like if the price doubles, right, the yield doubles, and then on top of that, if he increases the amount of emissions, like he could increase like the emissions by 3x. Eventually, they'll go down to 2x. That bring more money onto the chain. He could increase Pulse Chain Ethereum pair. I think that's a good pair to increase the yield on, just because you have more Ethereum that has to be bridged in order to make up for the demand. Also, it pairs Ethereum much more to Pulse Chain, which it already is anyway. And if we go on a nice Ethereum run, that'll help kind of prop up and keep up the price of Pulse Chain, which keeps the price of PulseX and everything else up. Probably increase the yield slightly to maybe like a PulseX Inc. or something like that as well. But yeah, there's many ways to increase the yield or stuff like that. Ink's the most manipulated token. Yes. He could also just he could just pump Hex in general, in general, make it more expensive. Pump eHex just to piss people off. That'd be funny. That'd bring a lot of attention. Honestly, it's like there was a report yesterday that happened that Uniswap still makes a significant portion of their monthly income from Uniswap V2. 10% of the revenue still comes from Ethereum V2, not even V3 and the other versions they have. The classic V2 still makes 10% of their yearly income, which is pretty sick, Why does Pulse Chain have many coins? Well, it's the original coin Hex is basically its main kind of coin. Pulse Chain's the gas token. PulseX is the exchange token. It's pretty standard issue and stuff for a lot of exchanges. Like, why does every other why does someone have so many tokens? Why does everyone has a bunch of tokens? Why do we have an NFT exchange? Why do we have a leverage trading exchange? Why do we you need these things basically? let's say he swing trades sack funds from the top of the bull run to buy back in the bear market. He could add it. Yeah, I mean, that's actually a smart thing. I mean, I'd be shocked if that doesn't happen. I'd be, I could see him possibly being scared. I mean, the only reason I could see him not doing it is just because he's scared of like funds being frozen in a stable coin. So I don't know what he'll have to do to be able to do that, but like somehow he'll have to find a stable coin where he's not afraid of getting rugged in. Because like the main risk is basically funds being frozen effectively. Yeah. A great question. We got Bob Perez, man. Portfolio potential. 23K in Ethereum, 10K Pepe, 4K Doge, AVAX. Value of current prices. Well, right now, everything's kind of fairly priced in all these, essentially. I guess maybe Doge might be the cheaper one right now. I mean, I guess AVAX would technically be it. I mean, you've got a great potential in the portfolio. I mean, obviously, everything could, besides Ethereum, everything could double in price in the next 3 months. We're about to get interest rate cuts. Money printing's about to start. Overnight repo market's probably going to start increasing. One thing is I call it the loosening choking effect. I got to come up with some kind of a cooler name for it. But basically, as interest rates come down, it's going to cause more people to go to market. But because the volume of right now we're in a buyer's market is the worst thing a real estate seller wants to hear. So a buyer's market means if me and you are buying home, we have the leverage in the relationship. It means because we have the money. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, y'all. If you have cash to buy property, you are king. You get better deals. You can haggle on price. There's room to haggle. You can lowball people down to get properties. Where when it's a seller's market, it means property is limited. The people who have the property have the power. They can gouge the buyers out. If you want this property, I'm sorry, you're dealing with about 15 other people who want to get to the house. Your offer, I don't care if you have a cash offer, you have to increase your offer, or I'm just going to put it in an auction. Damn, So because right now we're in a buyer's market, the sellers are under a lot of pressure. As the interest rates come down, it'll probably spur along some sellers to start selling now, right? But what'll end up happening is I believe the interest rates coming down is going to be probably a net negative on real estate because the rate cuts won't be fast enough. So you'll have more supply come online, which just put more price. It'll be a weird thing where interest rates are going down, but house prices continue to go down because more people will put their properties on the market more. And every year that passes, more boomers die, more property, and these properties are going to get put on the market basically. Yeah, too much housing versus buyers. There's plenty of housing. It's just a lot of the properties were held up by boomers. Rue Ape, Bull Ape. Why do people like Hex? It seems useful as a meme coin. Well, meme coins are powerful. Let me play. I'm gonna answer the rest of the super chat in a minute. But Rue Bull Ape, you gotta get past those things, man. If I could make money on XRP, I'd make money on XRP if I wanted to. But listen to this about crypto tribalism.
Why?
Let me ask you a question. Why do you think XRP still exists?
Because they have a great marketing team and a lot of money.
What do you think a lot of money from?
From selling their coin and their ICO, their initial offering, right? I mean,
listen, the XRP army care as much about their token as the Bitcoin army cares about theirs. It's just that simple.
It has gotten very tribal.
All crypto is tribal. Listen, I got a Bitcoin tattoo.
Do you still have your Terra Luna tattoo?
I got a Bitcoin tattoo right there. I got it at 20,000.
Do you still have your Terra Luna?
I got a Terra Luna tattoo there. These are tribal communities. And I used to be more of Bitcoin's digital gold and everything else needs a utility, right? Just like there's gold on the periodic table, the other 113 elements only have value because there's a utility, right? We use copper for stuff, right? That's why it's valuable. And I realized that was misguided thinking. What created Bitcoin and created this crypto movement was this breakdown in trust in the world. People don't trust religions. They don't trust governments. It started in 08, right? I mean, Satoshi wrote the paper post 08. And if you just graph trust since we started this journey, it's one directional, straight down.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get why Michael loves Bitcoin because that's his community. And I love Bitcoin too. But it's beyond a financial asset. It's a religion. It's a tribal movement. And it's the same thing that you're seeing. And I mean, look, Cardano has a $8 billion market cap and you can shit on Cardano and you get death threats. There's a community that cares about Cardano enough that it's kept up a valuation that defied most people's logic, right? XRP, Brad Garlinghouse has done an amazing job of creating. And I asked him a few times, I think, where does this XRP army come from? And he said, I'm not even sure. Like, they care about this thing. I mean, when they went through that lawsuit, this guy, Doug Deaton, what was it, not Doug, who was the guy, Deaton? The lawyer, then he ran for...
John Deaton. Yeah.
John Deaton.
Yeah, he was on the show.
That guy was literally tweeting 9 times a day, fighting this case in court. He didn't even know the guys at Ripple originally. This was part of his community, and he thought this was an injustice done to his community. And so I think one of the things that crypto has added to investing in general is the idea that community is valuable.
So that's the answer to the question, is that there is attention on Hex. There's a very strong community, and that is why it's valuable. Now, in terms of a meme coin, it does have utility. Essentially, it creates staking yield with its own. Essentially, it's kind of like a different version. It's kind of a different version of like it's essentially does what Ethereum does, except you take the coin, you stake it, and you pick the amount of time you want to stake it for, and then essentially you get yield off of the inflation rate plus people emergency unstaking as rewards. So it does have a utility in terms of its own yield that it creates off of inflation. But it runs on Ethereum. It runs on Ethereum itself, so there's no really need for to spend time or energy or money on essentially defense or protection because it's an RC20 token or a PRC20 token on Pulse Chain. But all tokens, if like as an example, right? This is what's so funny. It's like you have to learn this about tokens. If the price of Bitcoin just kept crashing, is it any better than a meme coin? Like a meme coin, you have to understand, you have to get off that mentality now. Obviously, a lot of times derogatory term is a meme coin, right? But Bitcoin started off as a meme coin. It was just an idea and a movement, and it's evolved into now it's gold. But that's just humans putting words to. It's essentially just an internet coin. That's it. The reason it has value is because we say it has value. That's why. That's it. If we all say for some reason, I don't know, look by your computer. Let's just say you had a mouse, and everyone let's just say 1 billion people on this planet wanted that mouse out of 7, but they wanted your mouse. That mouse would be worth billions of dollars, because if everyone in the world knew about that mouse and they wanted that mouse, that's just 1 billion people out of 7 billion on the planet were like, oh my God, that mouse you have, how much? That mouse would sell for $1 billion. And people are saying the other 6 billion. This is so fucking stupid. Why would 6 billion people why would anyone want to buy this stupid plastic mouse for $1 billion? This is so dumb. But 1 billion people on the planet say it's valuable. So guess what? It is valuable. That's all it is. And it's faith. I explained this to you guys in the crypto mindset course. A cryptocurrency is a religion, a sports team, a financial asset, and a token, and a crypto asset, all fused into one. This is why it's all powerful. Let's just say as an example, right? Excluding excluding Green Bay as an example, right? if let's just say you're the most diehard 49ers fan or the Raiders fan, and the Raiders win, you make no money unless you're risking your money on betting on them or some shit, right? But this is why sports never made too much sense for me. Outside, I've always liked combat sports, really, but like I've never really gotten the whole thing how guys, their entire personality becomes "Let's go Raiders." Unless I own the team or own, like I got my own sweet stuff or something like that. Sure, for fun, but like people's entire personality becomes the Raiders, right? You becoming a Raiders fan is not going to make you rich. It has a soul value because it's entertainment, camaraderie. It has a tribalism. It has a tribe, but there's no economic incentive to it. The big thing about crypto is that it has that incentive to you, right? If for some reason, let's just say like the Raiders had a coin called Raiders, right? And the Raiders were winning. The Raider coin is going sky high. So not only are your tribe, you're a part of a team, your coin is winning. And the coin price is going up, so you're getting fucking rich. And that, because you're getting fucking rich, it just multiplies on itself even higher and higher and higher and higher, that it brings the team to a new sort of standing. And then also it all goes into itself because like, fuck, man, I'm getting rich off this shit. Fucking Raiders for the fucking Super Bowl, motherfuckers. Let's do it. And they win the Super Bowl. You hit this brand new all-time high. Not only did my team win the Super Bowl, but I got rich as fuck. I got rich as fuck off of that. Holy shit. And that's the difference, is that crypto is sports for men, except where you can get rich off of it. Like, you have a piece of the action. You can win on it. Like, most of the times, people are like, yeah, let's go this. People are voting for presidents and stuff, right? But, like, for the most part, it doesn't matter. And here it does matter, because if you choose right, you're going to make a lot of money. You're going to get rich. And then other people with like-minded mindsets are also going to get rich. So it's like you create this familial bond as well, where like you, your buddies, all the people who believe in you is also getting rich. It's the same thing. It's like everyone in my circle is getting rich. So we're all getting rich. So we're propagating the mindset that I believe will win is winning. You know? This guy, no, XRP's the Cowboys. Dog shit team falling on Plas Glory. Never makes it out of the first week of playoffs. Lol. We getting chicken, man. And, you know, you have to have testicular fortitude and you have to invest. I invested in Pulse Chain when it was not hot. Obviously, when it launched, it was hot. And then when it was like not hot and it's all over, I fucking doubled down and bought more. I'm in profit on Pulse Chain. I'm in profit on Hex and EHEX, PHEX, Ink Token, Pulse Chain. I bought the tire tokens early as fuck. Made a ton of money on that. In DCC, we trust. This is the way. Also, I invested into Solana when people didn't believe in it. When the majority of influencers wouldn't touch Solana. When the majority of investors didn't want to invest in the meme coins, I invested into Pepe, the first one to go multi-billions this cycle. I invested into a bunch of other meme coins that made some fucking significant money when people didn't think that was a train. When people are saying Instagram is stupid, I fucking went on Instagram, got a bunch of followers, figured out the recipe, found a bunch of meme coins, made more money. Money on money, sauce on sauce. I'm being counterintuitive. I'm looking for where people are mispricing attention. Right now, no one likes Sonic. I'm dumping money into Sonic. When nobody likes Pulse Chain, I was dumping money into Pulse Chain. When nobody likes Solana, I was dumping money into Solana. When nobody wanted to buy Sui, we were buying Sui for a fucking $1. Racks on racks. Racks on racks.
Money when you buy. You don't make money when you sell. Every time the world goes tits up and everything goes fucked up, I smile, because days like today are days I've made money. I'm actually cash poor. First time in my life I'm poor. I have like $100 grand for the weekend. That's it. But it's fine, because I know in the future, Jah blessed me, and I'm about to buy another 812 super fast. Anyway, point is, if you're watching this and you have any kind of money, don't be a bitch. Scared money doesn't make money. Invest it.
The word of the day is cash. Every day, cream. Cash rules everything around me. I'm flexing. It's Friday. In the Lambo. About to go spend $1,000 on dinner. Spend $20,000 in the club. Fuck 3 bitches. And I'll wake up tomorrow richer than I woke up today.
One drunk man is more intelligent than 3 women with PhDs.
Thank you so much.
That's
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
That's
Mr.
Imagine selling now. Honestly, man. Fucking imagine it. Looking at your fucking kids in the eyes and being like, you know what? I'm real sorry, my youths. Daddy fucking went and got a sex change. You know what I mean? No more big dick. Daddy got a fat pussy now, okay? You're a fucking weakling. Fuck that, man. I can't look my children in the eyes knowing that daddy fucking sold on dumps. On fucking dumps, man. You fucking idiots. Who the fuck is selling? I don't know anyone selling. My team ain't selling. I know bag hunters ain't fucking selling. Gem hunters ain't selling. So who the fuck is selling? Michael Saylor buying. Grayscale buying. Elon Musk on the Tesla cash flow fund is buying. So who the fuck is selling? I tell you who's selling. Little weak-hand pussios that didn't even fucking want to be in this game anyway. Didn't understand it. I'm in it for the deck. Fuck off, mate. You ain't...
Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, man. And join the Citadel. Pin to the top of the chat, you guys. We got 500 plus people in the Citadel right now. We're about to drop some sauce for the guys. Possible fight clubs. That's all I could say. Man, shit's going good. Oh, and Crypto Mindset is launching September 19th. Woo! Locked in. The date has been locked in. September 19th, man. So, bumba clap. We out here, man. Let's look at BRRR. I wanted to see the BRRR price. BRRR's another coin I recommended people to get. It's basically where it's at. I think it's at like $3 million. So, it's up a little bit. You guys, where on the chart did I tell people we should buy? I think up here is a good place to buy. Q3 September. Yeah, so next month on the 19th, we're launching the next Crypto Mindset course. Yep. Oh, my God. Dad, how much Bitcoin do you have? None, son. I thought it didn't have value. Oh, boy. When will you learn? Ooh, we climbing back up. We're at 81. That's very nice. Butt plug. Wow. Pay the cost to be the boss. Pay the cost to be the boss. So Pulse back at 51. That's a decent price. Half a sack. Actually, normally when we're at 51, this is actually closer to like 40, 41. So we're a little bit down right now. There's some ratio trade action someone could do in Pulse Chain into PulseX if you're into that sort of stuff. About 1 penny on Pulse Chain. Ink's a little under $2. Pretty close. Whereas EHEX is about 20% of a penny, so 2,000 per million, 10,000 per million on the PHEX side, 5-to-1 ratio, not bad. Zero trust, okay. Peacock, DevCoin, Zen. If any of you guys buy anything that's named Zen, you are a retard that deserves to lose all their money. That's insane. Super chat bugging out, but I sent my question in the chat. Can you rewrite it down right here, brother? So that happens sometimes with people on mobile. That's happened to me where I've sent a super chat with no text before. So I print profits. Rewrite your question in the chat. I'll definitely read it for you. Let me see if it's up here. Yeah, I don't see it, dog. Just rewrite it in the chat. If we took the previous CMC course, are we able to jump into the Take Profits course? No. So you have to get the current crypto mindset course to get into the newest Take Profits course, which we have some webinars coming up very soon for the Take Profits course and the CMC, the current CMC. So we've got we literally have shit every week for the until the next CMC. So we got a lot of stuff coming in for the guys. So don't worry, man. Pays the cost to be the boss. Woo! Saw some alerts posting. There's been some inflows already from Soul. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of Soul money, man. Nobody is close to 80 million. Feels like still early to retrace. You think we can smoke past? As long, like, I think we can. Obviously the 100 million is going to be the big one. Like, I'll probably take a little more profit in the 90 million range if we can touch that. And then if we get a retrace, we'll probably get a retrace back to 60 million. That's probably what I buy back in on nobody. But if Solana just keeps going, then it'll just keep going. So I'll just rotate some of those profits into some other meme coin plays or something like that. Karn. But yeah, I mean, as long as Solana doesn't take a shit here and it just keeps climbing a couple dollars every day, I mean, basically nobody's not really going to lose strength. Basically, pay the cost to be the boss. Yeah, it's not showing my super chats for some reason. Trying to see if I have any other super chats. No. Do you think we'll have a blow off top? Yes. Still believe in Lumen. I still have some, yeah. I divested out like 65% out, but I still have a bag, a moon bag. The founder's still working hard. Ethereum pumping and stuff, we might have a game season finally, but, that's why I'm holding some. I've learned my mistake about dumping entire bags, especially if I had conviction for a long time on a coin. I'll keep a sizable moon bag just because, like, that could turn into stupid money. What's up, Crypto Boogeyman? What's going on, G? Has he mentioned his question yet? Yeah, I print profits, brother. If you're still in the chat, man, rewrite your question because I cannot find your other super chat that you're talking about. So I appreciate it. Thank you. What? I don't know. What's going on, Moon Gang, man? Make sure to hit the like button on the way in, dogs. Come on, there's plenty of room. What to buy to pay for the CMC. A lot of the coins we've been talking about, man. I think we're gonna have a nice little bump up in this next few weeks. Obviously the rate, I think that the initial rate cut that's going to happen on September 17th, I believe 17th, is going to be a cut. I don't know if it's 25 or 50 basis points, probably 25 to be safe, but those rate cuts are going to obviously shake up the market a little bit. And then I think we go upwards. Money printing starts basically. Also a lot of the tariff ingestion that we've been having in the markets is starting to go away. A lot of the European countries and like Canada and are just starting to they're just trying to let's get trade started. We'll take the 15%, 10% tariffs. Let's just go. We won't hit you. When's the next CMC? The 19th of next month. Honestly, $8,000 Ethereum for December is not out of the realm of possibilities, dogs. Why has Sui been choppy? It's been in the threes and gets stuck for breakout fours. People are trading it. Some whales are trading it with leverage and shit, or chopping it back to gain supply. Pretty normal. And also too, its ecosystem is lacking a lot. If I'm being completely honest, the Cetus hack really hurt it, but it's going to make a comeback. I gave a recommendation yesterday of the tokens that you can make some serious. Like right now, Sui ecosystem is not being bought for shit. You can make if you want a little recommendation if you're willing to take a risk. The Sui ecosystem, there's some big money to be made in there, but you've got to have the balls to buy now because it's not sexy right now. Not sexy. Sexy is not. You buy. I'm giving you the sauce right here. Deep Blue Book token, 1. Bluefin, 2. let me see the top ones right here. Cetus token 3. So you got 3 exchange tokens essentially, or kind of like utility tokens. We're literally this one's dipped a lot. I mean, look at the chart on this hoe. Let me go to the weekly here. Look at that shit. The price spiked up here, but obviously the average price is probably like 30, and then so it's down about 66%. Probably a decent token because they can make a nice little comeback. This was the one that was hacked, but they kind of patched it up and are functional again. But because of that, there's discounts. Deep's pretty cheap. Blue is very cheap, and a meme coin would probably be something like Lofi, 20 million market cap. I think it's the biggest meme coin on there. It was up here, crashed a lot. When Sui breaks all-time high, it's possibility. This is super risky, by the way, but like this is how you make some money. You got to be contrarian. You got to invest when shit's down. Yeah. I mean, there's like 2 times.
You've got women and faggots on one side, and you got real niggas on the other. Real niggas. Real men, real guys with real balls. That's the difference.
That's the difference. So you gotta look at that, man. There's not much competition on the memes. I'm not impressed with a lot of the memes, but like this one's probably. I mean, this is the best one that's on there right now, and that's what it is. So, you're picking it up right now at a. Let me full screen this hoe. You're picking this up right now for about 20 cents, 5 for $1. This was as high. Oh, I'm sorry, 2 cents. 2 cents. I'm sorry, so 20 for $1. This is as high as 24. So if it just gets back to here. That's a 10x. It's a meme coin, so most of its supply is all out. It's 8 months old. Dirt cheap. Is it the best meme in the world? I don't know, but it's like, but the bar is so low on Sui memes are pretty trash, you guys. Like, I'm gonna be fucking honest. Like, let's look at some competition here. This really gets your girl's pussy wet right here, you guys. This token right here. I'm trying to give you some sauce rates, like how to pay for the CMC. I'm giving you it right now because, like, Sui season begins once it breaks its all-time high. Because people don't believe it. It's been down so. Sonic Snipeball. You think no, dog? Come on. Let's look at any other meme coins. What other meme coins are here? Like. I'll go trending 24 hours. Let's see. Any meme coins. My God. Manifest. It ain't happening, dog. No. I see the vision on this one. But with such a high market cap and everything like that, it's probably like bullshit. I like redheads. They're cool. There's like a right type of redhead and shit too, because when their skin's not as pasty. But you're like, is this really worth 99 million market cap? It seems like a bunch of horse shit to me, so I wouldn't touch this shit 10-foot pole. But noting, my dick has taken me places where I wouldn't even go with a gun, so I guess that's true. Maybe I should really take time to think about that.
She calls America evil. From her iPhone while sipping Starbucks, on an airplane, with Wi-Fi, while watching TV. She drinks oat milk because regular milk makes her feel colonial. She got 8 COVID shots, still caught it, and blamed the unvaccinated waiter. She has a Ukraine flag in her bio. She thinks Ukraine is a clothing brand. She says Black Lives Matter, but still clutches her bag in certain neighborhoods. She used to be vegan, now she's carnivore. Depends on who she's dating. She thinks all cops are bad, then called the cops because someone wasn't wearing a mask. She says she's a feminist until she needs a jar opened. She says, trust the science, but thinks there's more than 2 genders. She got the booster, then posted a selfie with doing my part. while spreading COVID in Tulum. She drinks ayahuasca for trauma she invented last year. She says she hates capitalism, but charges $499 for Zoom breathwork. She posts about toxic masculinity from her ex's apartment.
From her ex's apartment. So that's a no-go. No, miss me with that. Let's see other meme coins in here. Lofi, I mean, that's the best one I've seen so far. That's why I put some money. I'm gonna put some money in there. The pores, okay. What a it's on the weekly. Only a 4 hour. Fuck, I gotta go on the 5. I gotta go on the 1 hour, dog. Probably not. We pour. Nah, miss me with that, boy. I'm rich. Let's keep going. Hippo. So this is a token copying this other Mudong or whatever the fuck it's called. It's this token that was big on Binance and stuff. God damn, this got crushed. It went pretty high for a little bit. So how old is this? 10 months, not bad. So this maybe a little possible contender, kind of a risk play, but it's about 2 cents or it's about 20% of a penny. It was as high as about 10 cents, 2 cents. So what? Same thing. So basically, it needs a 10x to go to all-time high. The dev left the project to keep the old logo. Now we have a community that wants to take over. Hippo's taken over after the original developer abandoned the This original developer thing. A lot of times they do that on purpose, is just to make it sound like it's like, oh wow, there's real people in the community, man. That shit's getting old, dog. I'm getting sick of that shit. But I'd put that as number 2 right now because the bar is so low right here. Fart token on Sui. All right, let's calm down. Summon, no. So we're dealing with not much, you guys. Not much. So I guess if you're gonna take a shot, you go heavier on Lofi and you put someone Modon. That's about it. There's nothing else. Any idea if Magic's a good crypto to buy? I'd have to look at it. On what chain is it on? Whoa, it's Magic. Nothing to beat with my home. Magic. Oh. Yeah, you didn't know DCC could sing, huh? Not enough titties. I don't know. How old is this hoe? 3 years old. Wow. Is it a game? Decentralized gaming console powered by Magic. I'd have to check it out. Let me look. It looks like it's like when I go on the website right now, the whole thing's about AI agents. So it seems like it was losing interest in the GameFi space, so they pivoted to AI agents right now. God damn. Maybe I should go on the weekly. This horse shit. So probably had very low supply at the time when it hit this all-time high, crashed down to about there with all the increasing supply. $2, $1. Well, if you're gonna buy it, you're gonna buy it now because this is dick in the dirt right now. When it does do a move, the moves are pretty dramatic. What is it, 40 cents? So it usually does about a 4x on a move when it's dramatic. $2. Let's see. Let's call it $5. But this is $5 with no supply, basically. Not my cup of tea, probably, but hey, do the you. Yeah, so the meetup's going to be next year, the official meetup, but we are thinking about possibly doing maybe like a VIP meetup and stuff in Vegas for takes profits guys and stuff. Oh, when the Las Vegas meetup be? So generally we have we've done it at least last 2 years in January. We're thinking about moving the date a little up, possibly to March. But we're playing around with the dates and stuff because we want to make sure we have time in between courses to do everything. And it's a pretty big event and stuff like that. So we usually get 200 to 300 people going every time. It's a lot of people in Vegas. Usually by day 3, my voice is gone. And yeah. The next FNF show, the next FNF show we're going to be on is going to be September 19th, and we're going to be on the Friday show, and we're going to be on the Money Monday show on the 22nd, on Monday, the 22nd of September. So we're going to be on 2 shows, and then I think we're going to go on a bunch of other 304 podcasts, and a bunch of other shows and stuff. We're going to be on a huge run. And a ton of shows as well, which is pretty cool. I like hosting the event in Vegas when the weather is not as hot as it needs to be. So like this year was weird because April it was still kind of cold, but normally it starts warming up around like March. So maybe we can do it in February, but like we have to do it after Valentine's Day because it's like the worst. One time, I think we did like a crypto event, not a crypto event. We did a launch near like Valentine's Day. God damn, that was a mistake. Yeah. Yeah, the 305 podcast helps the 304s with Gary the Numbers Guy. That's right. And Fresh. Yeah. When you sin, you sound like Eric. That's such a compliment. Thank you. That's right. That's right. Okay, let's keep going. So let's get into like the main topic of the show right now. So we're gonna listen to right now Jerome Powell talking about the interest rate cuts. So he just had a meeting recently. I have a speech right here on the podium. This is by AP, the Associated Press. I'll have the link in the bio and stuff after the stream. I've kind of skipped forward here to when he really starts talking about what they're planning to do with interest rates, and I think it's going to be a good listen. So let's take a look.
Trade policy more effective. The changes we made in this review are a natural progression grounded in our ever-evolving understanding of our economy. We continue to build upon the initial consensus statement adopted in 2012 under Chairman Ben Bernanke's leadership. Today's revised statement is the outcome of the second public review of our framework, which we conduct at 5-year intervals. This year's review included 3 elements: Fed listens events at reserve banks around the country, a flagship research conference, and policymaker discussions and deliberations supported by staff analysis at a series of FOMC meetings. In approaching this year's review, a key objective has been to make sure that our framework is suitable across a broad range of economic conditions. At the same time, the framework needs to evolve with changes in the structure of the economy and our understanding of those changes. The Great Depression presented different challenges from those of the Great Inflation and the Great Moderation, which in turn are different from the ones we face today. At the time of the last review, we were living in a new normal, characterized by the proximity of interest rates to the effective lower bound, or ELB, along with low growth, low inflation, and a very flat Phillips curve, meaning that inflation was not very responsive to slack in the economy. To me, a statistic that captures that era is that our policy rate was stuck at the ELB for 7 long years following the onset of the global financial crisis in late 2008. Many here will recall the sluggish growth and painfully slow recovery of that era. It appeared highly likely that if the
Man, we need to get this guy some water.
economy experienced even a mild downturn, our policy rate would be back at the ELB very quickly, probably for another extended period.
Well, the reason they can't replace them is because they made it as an independent organization, even though it's borrowing government powers, which I don't know why people on the internet were fighting me over that. Like, no, the Fed's always had power. No, they had to beg Congress for powers. Their power comes from Congress, which means it comes from the people. So the Fed could be stripped from an act of Congress. They could be stripped of their power to print money and be getting the money, and that power given back to the Treasury. That could totally happen. So the president can choose Fed, directors of the Fed and stuff. If the directors of the Fed are shown to be basically doing a bad job, they can be fired, and then Trump can put a new Fed, one of the directors of the Fed and stuff. Which I think there's 7 or 8 of them, if I remember correctly. So, yeah. And also the reason too, like the reason the Fed was created is so we could fund World War I. So for war.
Inflation and inflation expectations could then decline in a weak economy, raising real interest rates as nominal rates were pinned near zero. Higher real rates would further weigh on job growth and reinforce the downward pressure on inflation and inflation expectations, triggering an adverse dynamic. The economic conditions that brought the policy rate to the ELB and drove the 2020 framework changes were thought to be rooted in slow-moving global factors that would persist for an extended period. And they might well have done so, if not for the pandemic. The 2020 consensus statement included several features that addressed the ELB-related risks that had become increasingly prominent over the preceding 2 decades. We emphasized the importance of anchored inflation, longer-term inflation expectations, to support both our price stability and maximum employment goals. Drawing on an extensive literature on strategies to mitigate risks associated with the ELB, we adopted flexible average inflation targeting, a make-up strategy to ensure that inflation expectations would remain well anchored, even with the ELB constraint. In particular, we said that following periods when inflation had been running persistently above 2%, appropriate monetary policy would likely aim to achieve inflation moderately above 2% for some time. In the event, rather than low inflation in the ELB, the post-pandemic reopening brought the highest inflation in 40 years to economies around the world. Like most other central banks and private sector analysts, through year-end.
And I am fully convinced they let COVID happen because the banks were about to implode, and they needed to money print. But they couldn't afford to do another financial problem with the banks because the banks would have been regulated and they would have lost a lot of money and power. So they came up with this whole basically health crisis in order for them to be able to, it's a pandemic, not a financial crisis. And they printed money. So I want you guys to be under no illusion that that shit was completely fabricated and blown out of proportion to allow them to print money to basically bail out the banks. Again.
Around 2021, we thought that inflation would subside fairly quickly without a sharp tightening in our policy stance, as this slide will show. When it became clear this was not the case, we responded forcefully, raising our policy rate by 5.25 percentage points over 16 months. That action, combined with the unwinding of pandemic supply disruptions, contributed to inflation moving much closer to our target without the painful rise in unemployment that has accompanied previous efforts to counter high inflation. This year's review considered how economic conditions have evolved over the past.
I'll put it like this, right? With the whole COVID thing, right? Supposedly, my son caught COVID the other day, and he survived. A baby of under a year beat COVID. Or did he just have a flu?
It's 5 years. During this period, we saw that the inflation situation can change rapidly in the face of large shocks. In addition, interest rates are now substantially higher than was the case during the era between the global financial crisis and the pandemic. With inflation above target, our policy rate is restrictive, modestly so in my view. We cannot say for certain where rates will settle out over the longer run, but their neutral rate may now be higher than during the 2010s, reflecting changes in productivity, demographics, fiscal policy, and other factors that affect the balance between saving and investment. During the review, we discussed how the 2020 statement's focus on the ELB may have complicated communications about our response to high inflation. We concluded that the emphasis on an overly specific set of economic conditions may have led to some confusion And as a result, we made several important changes to the consensus statement to reflect that insight. First, we removed language indicating that the ELB was a defining feature of the economic landscape. Instead, we noted that our monetary policy strategy is designed to promote maximum employment and stable prices across a broad range of economic conditions. The difficulty of operating near the ELB remains a potential concern, but it is not our primary focus. The revised statement reiterates that the committee is prepared to use its full range of tools to achieve its maximum employment and price stability goals, particularly if the federal funds rate is constrained by the ELB.
So they basically have said that they're going to not pay attention so much to the inflation rate anymore. Not completely. This is fucking very important right here. I think that people don't understand this part. Like, they just said that one of the mandates is a 2% inflation rate and basically consumer prices, as well as basically that's in part of the 2% inflation rate, as well as low unemployment. They're going to put more emphasis on the low unemployment side and allow inflation to go higher in order to facilitate the economy right now. Money printers go BRRR. Let's go back a little bit.
Changes in productivity, demographics, fiscal policy, and other factors that affect the balance between saving and investment. During the review, we discussed how the 2020 statement's focus on the ELB may have complicated communications about our response to high inflation. We concluded that the emphasis on an overly specific set of economic conditions may have led to some confusion, and as a result, we made several important changes to the consensus statement to reflect that insight. First, we removed language indicating that the ELB was a defining feature of the economic landscape. Instead, we noted that our monetary policy strategy is designed to promote maximum employment and stable prices across a broad range of economic conditions. The difficulty of operating near the ELB remains a potential concern, but it is not our primary focus. The revised statement reiterates that the committee is prepared to use its full range of tools to achieve its maximum employment and price stability goals, particularly if the federal funds rate is constrained by the ELB. Second, we returned to a framework of flexible inflation targeting and eliminated the makeup strategy.
Right there, flexible inflation strategy. Get rich or die buying, right? No, well, I think it's get rich or no, or fucking, or basically not buy, really. Me no understand, but me no DCC smart. He's smart. Yes, me smart. Basically, what he's saying is that they're essentially going to be relaxed on the 2% inflation rate because what did I say when? So okay, let me pull my boom. Okay, so they're doing a lot of even though it doesn't feel like it. A lot of money is being spent on infrastructure. What infrastructure are they spending on? They're spending it on roads? No. What are they spending money on right now? Factories? Okay. Back to the United States. There is factories being built in the United States. Trillions of dollars of infrastructure in terms of factories are being paid out from like anywhere from Apple to any of these major conglomerates, as well as automotive industry. Two, where else are the data? Yeah, exactly. Took it right out of my mouth. Filthy motherfucker. Data centers. So a lot of money is being increased into data centers. And three, energy, coal plants, nuclear facilities. Why? We're in an AI race. We need electricity. We need that. So so the energy. There's a lot of spending in energy sectors. Oil, coal, nuclear we're built. I mean, literally the first nuclear reactor since like fucking 3 Mile Island is being built right now by Google because we need reactors because we do not have enough electricity right now. And if we don't continue on, we're going to having brownouts here in the United States, which is basically we're stealing money from the mainframe of like the power structure of the power grid. And then that's causing rolling blackouts because we're stealing electricity from consumers because we need that for military/corporate purposes. So China's building up the same thing. So when you like a good inflation, even though it's crazy, but a good inflation, when you build infrastructure, which is real world stuff, you create inflation. There's no way around that. So part of the inflation that's happening in the United States is because there's contractors that are being paid out, workers being hired. I mean, everything in between, building these things out, You know, from gravel being sold, diesel, brand new caterpillars. I mean, the economy is growing on that front because these large, essentially corporate infrastructure plays are being built out in the United States, which is not, it's not roads really. It is basically, like I've said, it's oil and gas, electric, nuclear, coal, all being built out. The gas sector, because obviously Trump wants cheaper oil prices. And that's besides the point of like what's happening right now in Venezuela right now. I think there's going to be some regime change. I think the United States is basically going to probably take out the Venezuelan government and install a new dictator, or bring them into the fold, and then bring the Venezuelan oil, which is a heavy sour crude, which the United States is basically the only person on the entire Americas that can produce that can basically refine it anyway. They're going to start taking that Venezuelan oil to bring down oil prices. I mean, it's a CIA operative for sure, but like magically, how many ships we have on the side of Venezuela right now, dogs? Come on. We're doing that to us just oil independence anyway. So, like I've said for a long time, I've said if you watch my stream, watching my stream since 23, I've been saying that America for the longest time we should have an independent American price, America's price, which is all the way from Argentina all the way to Alaska, effectively. Standard procedure. Banana republics. You guys know this. Drill, baby, drill. Where's the drill, baby? My light bill's high. Your light bill's high because they're borrowing your electricity for AI. I think the light bill does come down and the energy costs come down. But that's all happening in 27 probably, where we're going to start feeling the effects of that in 28 and 29, basically. Yeah, Venezuela has more oil than Saudi Arabia. The only negative about the Venezuelan oil is that it costs more to not get it from the ground, but it's to refine it. Saudi Arabian oil is some of the best in the world. It is light, sweet oil, so it's a very, very, very easy to work with oil to make gasoline out of it. Diesels. A little harder to make plastic, but still you can make plastic out of it, basically. Where heavy sour crude is this is the same shit they have out there in the tar sands. It is very heavy duty to basically refine into basically usable gasoline, diesel, and plastics. Usually these heavy sour crudes are much easier to turn into plastics, but you have a ton of it, so you can make gasoline out of it, basically. So pretty cool. All that thick oil because I'm thick Latinas. You know, this man's speaking a lot of sense right now. That's your mom, dog, man. Your mom's a baddie. You better watch out, dog. I be going with if my mom looked like that, dog, man. Your mom was like that, dog. You gotta fucking go to church, watch your mom, dog. Shoo. Okay, so I got two quick questions before I go back to that. So, yeah, besides thick oil, because of thick Latinas, of course. But what kind of oil is in Texas and Alaska? So there's like the traditional oil, so it's kind of somewhere in between, kind of like. It could be light, like sour. It could be a lot of oils are different, but basically it's kind of a middle grade sort of oil. Very good. It's very good oil. But a lot of the fracking oil is essential. So we're the number one producers of frackers. The fracking technology got created here in the States. So fracking is the lightest, sweetest. So it's the same. It's basically either lighter or sweeter. It's on par with Saudi Arabia or better. So it's very easy to turn into gasoline. So when we were, fracking, when the fracking's done, it's a very, 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 very easy to refine oil from fracking, as well as a byproduct is natural gas. So we also have the lowest input cost for like natural gas, basically, besides like Russia, essentially, just because they have all the legacy pipes and everything already kind of put out there. So when fracking turns back on, it's just very easy to do. We get a lot of natural gas and we get a ton of cheap oil, basically. The only thing is that fracking does cost a certain amount of money. Like once the oil rigs are up and running, the cost isn't that much to maintain. But the problem is that in order to continue excavation and kind of keep the loans up, because like what ends up having these companies get into huge debt, even though the wells are very profitable, the debt can get so crazy that a lot of these companies go belly up. So that's why Saudi Arabia went public with the Saudi Aramco, basically showing that they had huge oil reserves. This crashed the market. This is around 2021. I think it was 22. Basically, when oil went negative, that was one of the reasons that happened. Is that they showed. So we had the stopping of supply. Essentially, it was a very interesting event. So like COVID happened, and we stopped using as much gas around the world. This caused an oil glut, and then Saudi Aramco went public. Also showed that they had basically infinite oil. They went public with, I think, 1% of the oil supply, but they had to show like, okay, what's the oil reserves? They basically showed that Saudi Arabia had infinite oil. They weren't going to run out. This whole shit like, we're going to run out of oil in 20 years. Total horseshit lies just to increase the price of oil. Absolutely lies. So that caused a huge glut in the supply and basically caused prices to crash. And that basically Saudi Arabia did this to bankrupt the frackers in the United States. So shale is pretty good. Yeah, Alaska's more traditional oil, very good oil though. Very good oil comes from Alaska. So yeah. Thick equals parasites? Well, I don't know about all that jazz. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, when we mean thick, we mean a girl with a big old ass, flat stomach, some nice titties. We're not trying to talk about tortas over here and shit like that. But like, I don't know. Some guys like girls with no ass cheeks because they got no dick to spare. So I understand, I get it. But I mean, I don't, can't relate. But I try to have passion, and understanding for somebody like that. Let's keep going. Where is it? Won't a prolonged war be bad for crypto? Not really. Temporarily, if it happens, like, whoa, it shocks. But these are just, unless Russia and the United States or Russia and China are in direct combat, the rest of the countries could go to war with the United States. We don't really care. Maybe a larger part of, I guess if Germany or a larger part of Europe got attacked, Germany is really the country, like the most eastern country that people really care about economic wise. Poland would be pretty bad. Poland be out here, bro. I've always said in world history, Poland just needs, before war breaks out, Poland just needs to hit Germany first. They always get taken out so early in the war. Like Poland's badass, by the way. I want to go to Poland one day. Shout out Warsaw. Poland because they keep getting taken out early in every world war. Poland just needs to just go, fuck it. Bah! Just start punching right away. Just like surprise attack. The Fire Nation attacks. Because they're going to get taken out early in the war anyway. They might as well fucking go down like swinging, like, sucker punch Germany and just go. Or if they're going to go on the Russia side, whichever. If they're going to attack Russia, it is what it is. But, yeah, the Snohas. Yeah, that's right. But we remember, like, crypto existed during the Iraq and Afghanistan conflicts. There were wars, right? But they're essentially so far away. I shouldn't say, but they are hella far away. They're on the other side of the world. They didn't really matter that much. We spent a ton of money down there and it was really stupid, but yeah, pretty dumb. Yeah, only Texas has a factory that can. There's actually multiple factories on that. They call it the carcinogen coast. Basically, there's one in Louisiana. There's one down there for Texas, or basically those states. There's essentially multiple. I think there's 3 or 4 factories that are equipped to basically refine that Venezuelan oil, basically. Yeah. Venezuelan oil is trash, yeah, because you have to have very specialized refineries to do it. But if you can do it, it can be done. I think there's also Venezuela has been doing trades with Iran, so Iran actually does have some capability to refine their oil as well. Just obviously not to the same level the United States does, but they can. I mean, I remember they were trading like, I think they traded a plane full of gold, not literally, but like, a certain amount of gold for. They were trading oil for gold to Iran at one point in time, if I remember right. You ain't like the tortas? Not really. I mean, like, you really want a big old fat bitch? Let's just be for real. I mean, we love all the jokes and shit. I mean, will you take one for the team if it means like the rest of the mans get laid? I guess. I mean, maybe. I mean, you can be a wingman of the year, I guess, but like, nah, dog, come on. Oh man, get something to drink, my G. You sweating? Oh, bro, no, it's not sweat, bro. I'm fucking moisturized, man. It's that emu oil. Got it in my hair. This shit's fucking awesome. If I could recommend, man, get some. This 100% pure Australian emu oil, man. We don't use moisturizer here. We fucking endanger animals out here on these streets. Yeah. Yeah, we sleep. I mean, oh, do I have that meme? I don't know if I have it. I mean, I could post it on my. I'll post it on my. Now, obviously, we're red pill, but I just found this really funny. Really funny. Really funny. Where is it? I'll let that post real quick. And like what most guys really mean when they mean a torta, they just mean a girl that's a tiny bit overweight. Like, but what a torta really is some big old fat bitch, really, which is insane. Yeah. California has a ton of oil city too. Yeah, California could get in the oil game really easy and shit, but they don't. It's so stupid. So dumb. Yeah. I don't know. At some point in my cut, I'm going to turn real cunty, man. So I think so far down on my cut right now, I'm down like 15 pounds on my cut right now, which is pretty good. Let's see. Did it post yet? Motherfucker, post. Swear to God, dude, this shit's getting gay. Stay on top, you'll be fine. I think attacking Venezuela will lead to China taking Taiwan. They say that the Chinese government is a cartel, put a bounty on them. And I mean, I think the United States will. I think if it'll happen, they'll stomp out half of Taiwan. The United States will just sink most of the Chinese fleet, basically. I don't know. We'll have to see what's going on. But you also don't want a girl that's so skinny that her titties are gone. But like, I guess it's the classic, man. You know, as long as they got the ass, you can buy the tits. But yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, I digress. Back to Fed talk.
As it turned out, the idea of an intentional moderate inflation overshoot had proved irrelevant. There was nothing intentional or moderate about the inflation that arrived a few months after we announced our 2020 changes to the consensus statement, as I acknowledged publicly in 2021. Well-anchored inflation expectations were critical to our success in bringing down inflation without a sharp increase in unemployment. Anchored expectations promote the return of inflation to target when adverse shocks drive inflation higher and limit the risk of deflation when the economy weakens. Further, they allow monetary policy to support maximum employment in economic downturns without compromising price stability. Our revised statement emphasizes our commitment to act forcefully to ensure that longer-term inflation expectations remain well anchored to the benefit of both sides of our dual mandate. It also notes that price stability is essential for a sound and stable economy and supports the well-being of all Americans. This theme came through loud and clear at our Fed Listens events. The past 5 years have been a painful reminder of the hardship that high inflation imposes, especially on those least able to meet the higher costs of necessities. Third, our 2020 statement said that we would mitigate shortfalls rather than deviations from maximum employment. The use of shortfalls reflected the insight that our real-time assessments of the natural rate of unemployment, and hence of maximum employment, are highly uncertain. The later years of the post-global financial crisis recovery featured employment running for an extended period above mainstream estimates of its sustainable level, along with inflation running persistently below our 2% target. In the absence of inflationary pressures, it might not be necessary to tighten policy based solely on uncertain real-time estimates of the natural rate of unemployment. We still have that view, but our use of the term shortfalls was not always interpreted as intended, raising communications challenges. In particular, the use of shortfalls was not intended as a commitment to permanently forswear preemption or to ignore labor market tightness. Accordingly, we removed shortfalls from our statement. Instead, the revised document now states more precisely that the committee recognizes that employment may run at times above real-time assessments of maximum employment without necessarily creating risks to price stability. Of course, preemptive action would likely be warranted if tightness in the labor market or other factors pose risks to price stability. The revised statement also notes that maximum employment is the highest level of employment that can be achieved on a sustained basis in a context of price stability. This focus on promoting a strong labor market underscores the principle that durably achieving maximum employment fosters broad-based economic opportunities and benefits for all Americans. The feedback we received at Fed
Could you imagine if I was there and I'd go up there and just hand him a white monster? I'd be meme God forever, bros. Had he drawn a white monster, that would have been the best shit ever.
Reinforce the value of a strong labor market for American households, employers, and communities. Fourth, consistent with the removal of shortfalls, we made changes to clarify our approach in periods where our employment and inflation objectives are not complementary. In those circumstances, we will follow a balanced approach in promoting them. The revised statement now more closely aligns with the original 2012 language. We take into account the extent of departures from our goals and the potentially different time horizons over which each is projected to return to a level consistent with our dual mandate. These principles guide our policy decisions today, as they did in the 2022 to 24 period, when the departure from our 2% inflation target was the overriding concern. In addition to these changes, there is a great deal of continuity with past statements. The document continues to explain how we interpret the mandate Congress has given us and describes the policy framework that we believe will best promote maximum employment and price stability. We continue to believe that monetary policy must be forward-looking and consider the lags in its effects on the economy. For this reason, our policy actions depend on the economic outlook and the balance of risks to that outlook. We continue to believe that setting a numerical goal for employment is unwise because the maximum level of employment is not directly measurable and changes over time for reasons unrelated to monetary policy. We also continue to view a longer run inflation rate of 2% as most consistent with our dual mandate goals. We believe that our commitment to this target is a key factor, helping keep longer term inflation expectations well anchored. Experience has shown that 2% inflation is low enough to ensure that inflation is not a concern in household and business decision-making, while also providing a central bank with some policy flexibility to provide accommodation during it.
And this whole 2% thing is just some arbitrary number they created. You need a certain amount of inflation because we're in a system of debt where you need over time the debt to be essentially rotted away, but not to such a fast extent that it causes hyperinflation, but essentially causes inflation, basically a boiling a frog in a pot. So this is why, like, the best example is if your parents bought a house 30 years, or not even say 20 years ago as an example, right? And they bought a 30-year mortgage. The mortgage payment, if you look at the mortgage payment now, you're like, Mom, Dad, your mortgage payment is so cheap. That's what inflation does. Because like expectations of how much money you have to make, usually asset prices go up higher than income, and then income catches up, and then asset prices go up. So it's kind of this game of like asset prices keep going up, and then hopefully the average worker ends up always falling behind. Asset prices always are going to go faster than the actual prices, than the actual increase of your income. But still, even income goes up over time with inflation. This is why you got to own assets classes. You have to own assets, houses, stocks, real estate, crypto, businesses, because that's the inflation protection and the way you can gain against inflation, basically. Yeah, white monster vodka. That'd be funny as fuck. I had him a fucking white monster vodka. He drinks it, spits it out. I was like, God damn, is there vodka in here? But like, I remember when $12 an hour was enough to pay for all your bills, like 15 years ago. Well, yeah, sort of. Yeah, it was. But that's the interesting thing, like as an example, like, I think a house, like at least in my hometown area, right? Like you could have got yourself a very decent house. The mortgage payment would have been probably like $1,800 for the house for a 30-year mortgage. Now $1,800. You're paying $1,800 for this $1 million house. Holy shit! Because you get $1 million house today, the mortgage payment is $4,700 to $5,000 for the same house in today. And that's kind of the power of like why like they're incentivizing you to take debt in the future. Because that causes spending now, but and also so like the 2% inflation rates to basically for the debtors, and we're a debtor nation, so it ends up if you use debt in the right way, it can be really good for you. But like you have to buy assets with it, not retarded fucking shit like taking out like let me explain taking money out to buy fucking video games, borrowing money to buy rims, borrowing money to buy furniture. Unless there's like a really good deal and it's 0% and you're able to pay it off and you can play those games. But like mostly like this is why the poor are targeted by loan sharks or targeted by these fucking these companies that basically will sell you TVs for payments and everything like that. This is how they steal from the poor. Sometimes it's the only thing you got and you got to do it. I understand, but you just got to know basically. They're also looking into doing 40-year mortgages now, which is insane to me. But like they're discussing 40-year mortgages, which is like damn insane. But yeah, that's why they want inflation. Now, the 2% is just a number they kind of made up, which supposedly they copied from New Zealand of all places. But I've made much
economic downturns. Finally, the revised.
I can wear it. I can on a Saturday afternoon stream for hours in the comfort of my home, wearing a shirt that looks like someone just nutted. Post nut clarity shirt to like hundreds of people watching.
This consensus statement retained our commitment to conduct a public review roughly every 5 years. There's nothing magic about the 5-year pace. That frequency allows policymakers to reassess structural features of the economy and to engage with the public, practitioners, and academics on the performance of our framework. It is also consistent with several global peers. To wrap up, I want to thank President Schmid and all of his great Kansas City staff who work so diligently to host this outstanding event annually, counting a couple of virtual appearances during the pandemic. This is the 8th time I've had the honor to speak from this podium. Each year, this symposium offers the opportunity for Fed leaders to hear ideas from leading economic thinkers and focus on the challenges we face. The Kansas City Fed was very wise to lure Chair Volcker here to this national park more than 40 years ago, and I am so proud to be part of that tradition. Thank you very much.
Sheesh. Anyways. Oh, there we are. Yeah. Franklin, motherfucker. Miguel basically said he ain't wearing pants. I am wearing pants, but I'm wearing combat boots. But yeah, man. Fucking crazy, man. Very good. Very interesting. So money printer's about to turn on. Somebody asked this question in here. Where is it? When will we see positive effects from the rate cuts, Miguel? We're seeing it right now in the market. It's a little green. It's turning green. The initial cuts will probably be a little, hopefully it'll just be green anyway, but like I'm expecting a little bit of red on the initial day by the end of it. And then I would say a couple days to a week later, it's just green again because now the trajectory is like rates are going down. Yay, money printing. And then I would probably see overnight repo markets start going back up in money printing mode. So we're going up, dogs. Very good. I wanted to share this Twitter post I did right here just because I thought the shit was funny as fuck. Just because we were talking about, I think we were talking about this earlier about the whole chick shit. I always like dropping a little red pill knowledge in there for you guys. Now I don't like this one's just funny. I might add this to the show. Like,
That Pokemon! It's
Hello, I'm Clarence Claymore.
Shut the fuck up with you.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Clarence.
Those brutal words hurt my skin.
that Pokemon! It's
Hello, I'm Clarence Claymore.
Shut the fuck up with you.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Clarence.
Those brutal words hurt my skin.
Clarence Claymore. Oh my god, dog. I love that shit.
Women.
But this is the truth, man. Now, obviously, look, there's a lot of truth in what he's saying, but also you got to have game, you got to have frame, you got to have your muscles right and shit, and everything else in between. It isn't just all about the money and stuff like that. But this is pretty. I found this meme so funny. There's like if it's funny, there's truth in it. Right? It doesn't mean all of it's true because it's kind of a blue pill sort of shit, but like it's kind of jacking off the blue pill a little bit, but like there is some truth in this.
There's no such thing as a gold digger. Women are naturally expensive. So pick one in your price range and shut up. Hair, nails, skincare, clothes, makeup, none of that is free. Even that girl that you think's low maintenance, the one that's natural, you must have never had a girlfriend before because that natural girl, she's rocking a $200 effortless look. Okay. That's just the base model. You want the leather seats and the sunroof. That's going to cost you. Okay. So pick one in your price range and shut up. You don't walk into a luxury car dealership and yell at the salesman because the car is more than you can afford. You get a Corolla and you mind your business. Right. If she's out of your budget, that's not her being a gold digger. That's you shopping in the wrong aisle. You can't complain that champagne costs too much when you only brought beer money. Okay, stop complaining and just date within your means. That's what I do. Okay, there's someone for everyone. Stop crying about women wanting too much and go find someone whose idea of a fancy night out is Buffalo Wild Wings. They're out there. I grew up with them. These are my people. But I'm from Jersey. I'm not from Monte Carlo, and that's okay.
There is a lot of truth in that right there. But the big truth in this is that all women are expensive in their own ways. Now, sure, you have some low maintenance chicks, but like at some point they'll come out with some stupid idea, or like if they're not expensive in money, they're expensive in time, which I might be worse in a way. This man said you can't afford Hulu with no ads yet. They still put ads. They're, like a lot of these streaming services, you pay for no ads and they still add mandatory ads somehow. Like you choose a chick that like if your chick's low maintenance in the terms of cash, she's high maintenance in terms of fucking up your time, which might even be worse, honestly. Like I put up with it when I was younger, like just because I was really handy. Hey, help me paint this. Let's wash the car. Bitch, I couldn't be fucking like. I mean, it has to be a rare day in hell for me to spend some fucking time on some bunch of horseshit. I'm busy as fuck. Got to make this cheddar. Like, you want me to do what? You want me to put some IKEA furniture up? You want me to fucking no? What? So you want me to waste 4 fucking hours to put this shit together? Absolutely not.
There's no such thing as a gold digger. Women are naturally expensive. So pick one in your price range and shut up. Hair, nails, skincare, clothes, makeup, none of that is free. Even that girl that you think's low maintenance, the one that's natural, you must have never had a girlfriend before because that natural girl, she's rocking a $200 effortless look. Okay, that's just the base model. You want the leather seats and the sunroof. That's going to cost you. Okay, so pick one in your price range and shut up. You don't walk into a luxury car dealership and yell at the salesman because the car is more than you can afford. You get a Corolla and you mind your business, right? If she's out of your budget, That's not her being a gold digger. That's you shopping in the wrong aisle. You can't complain that champagne costs too much when you only brought beer money. Okay, stop complaining and just date within your means. That's what I do. Okay, there's someone for everyone. Stop crying about women wanting too much and go find someone whose idea of a fancy night out.
Oh fuck, I was muted. God damn it. Well, the last part of that was a little blue pillish and shit, but like there's like a saying, like even there's some truth in that. There is truth in that. You got to find someone that vibes with you, but sometimes like, but some of these bitches' egos are fucking so inflated. By the time that their egos come down to where you want them, you don't want them anymore. Ain't that the fucking market right now? If you're a millennial guy, which is like I don't know what is it, 1980 to 1996, give or take. All of us are basic. Like if the youngest of the millennials is like 29, 28 right now. We're fucking Zoomer chicks. We're like most of us are not like, and if we're breaking up, we're maybe fucking a younger millennial chick or we're fucking Zoomer chicks. Absolutely true. Like, I mean, I feel bad for the Zoomer. I mean, like, how are the Zoomer dudes going to compete? They can't. Like, how are they going to compete against this hog? They're just not. You know. It's insane. You think I was thinking about that. Like, damn, dude, we're like if I were to like get a new chick right now, she'd actually be a Zoomer chick technically. Zoomer dudes aren't having sex. I know we're fucking all their chicks. Yeah, because the youngest Zoomer chick's what 1997. So how old will she be? 1997. Let's add 3 years. 2000. She's 28. 28 right now. Yeah, so 28. And so you're dating if you're dating some chick like basically you're some older Zoomer chicks in their late 20s right now. Insane. But that happens. I mean, that technically happens to every generation. Like the extra dudes were fucking older millennial chicks because they were like what? Like let's just say some bitches in 1980. Let's just work to 1980. How old that be? So she's like 20. She's 40. She's 45. The oldest Zoomer chick's like 40. I mean, the oldest millennial chick's 45. But when it was like 2000, she was 20 something, and the extra dudes were like the extra dudes were fucking some 20-year-olds. Yeah, it's about right. It's not our problem. Yeah, that's kind of the way of the world in a way. Oh, you're 26. So you're 26. There you go. Maybe my math is wrong, but yeah, 26. I guess that's the world, but it gets crazier because like the millennial chicks have just kind of made themselves unattractive for the most part. Not all of them, but a large portion of them. And two, most of them are at a breeding range already. I mean, obviously the girls born in the 90s still can have babies right now. If you're in like 1999 or 1990 to 99, they all can have kids right now. So those are those are the breeding ages right now. But like, you can't tell me like, I mean, fuck, what is it? I'm 34 right now, and I'm 91. So some 89 chicks is 36. How is she going to have a baby? Or it's very unlikely. Or unless we have to go IVF, which can be pretty expensive and stuff. Like I think last I heard, I had a friend of ours, me and Charlie, that went through the whole IVF thing. How much was it? I think they cost them like $11,000 or $15,000. Which might be worth it, honestly, because like here's the thing. This is what they told me is that they DNA check your kids. So you're like this is the kind of what Kanye was saying about like suppose he was saying about Jay-Z's and Beyonce's kids, where like they all came out retarded because they never got their genes checked to make sure they didn't have the retard gene. Which that was a lot. Even for Kanye, I was like, damn dog, that's pretty hardcore, bro. But that's the whole future is going to be about checking your embryos and shit, about diviner, like. Not designer babies in a way, but more or less like you really check your genome, and then like with the IVF, you're able to choose the best of your genes, basically, of terms of like at least making sure they don't have like some sort of like tism, not a tism gene, but more of like retardation and stuff like that, basically. Breeding a super race. Yeah. I mean, crypto talk and women, it's money and power. Like at the end of the game, like guys run on two things at the end of the day. Once they figured it, because the workout and the body thing is either sacrifice or you can maintain it while doing everything else. It's sort of like you have a triangle, right? You have money and bitches, or working out, money, bitches. Like choose two. You have the impossible triangle, basically. Is there like a show whiteboard? Guess not. But it's sort of like that whole college thing. Good grades, social life, sleep. Choose two. And then what guys will do is that but here's the interesting thing about this game is that you can choose to stop doing one and choose the other. That's what's so cool. Or some guys can choose to put all of it in one, which I've seen people do as well. Usually kind of bad. I think most people should choose two. But like yesterday's afternoon show shows not to date 30-year-olds. That show is painful to watch. Yeah, they've been let down. I mean, it's crazy. Asian women age very well until they don't. Like it's kind of a weird thing. It's like they slowly don't rot, and then they rot right away. I've seen it. It's fucking scary. Like I saw a chick, maybe she was bad genetics, but like I saw a chick that I saw in school. She's looked the same, which is pretty decent, right? For a long time. I just saw them recently, and they look like they got hit with a truck, and they're like, what is it? They're 35. It happens. You know, and it's crazy because they looked incredible. So they had a 15, okay, not 15, probably like from 15 years to there. So like they had a fucking 20-year run, dog. No, Mexicans just get fat and then they get all fucked up from diabetes. That's what happens. Like, have you seen, look, let me tell you this. When a Mexican, I say a Latino stays in shape and in shape, when you see, I have seen banging Latina moms who kept themselves in shape look incredible. It's just basically Mexicans and Latinos suffer from the whole diabetes. Like we get fucked up from diabetes, basically. Like look at what's her name from Modern Family, right? She stayed in shape. Obviously, look, all these bitches. Like I don't give a fuck Asian or not. These Asian, even all the good looking Asian dudes, they're all getting fucking facials. They're getting stem cells. They're getting injections of Botox. They are. That's just the name of the game in Hollywood. All right, fine. But it's just basically not getting fat and staying in shape. That's what it is. The Latino wall's 25, yeah, because they get overweight and they fuck up, and then that fucks up their liver, that fucks up like their shit and everything. Guys age better, obviously, but like I probably look trash as fuck. I mean, if I was a chick and I got as fat as I did and shit, well, at least I was working out. I guess I'd be some in shape bitch, or like some kind of like muscly bitch, I guess. But I mean, I guess technically, people would look at me if I was a chick. I'd probably be some powerlifting bitch, basically. So instead of being like at my peak, I was 280. I probably would have been like 200 pounds, but like I would have been a tall ass bitch too. 6'1" tall. Damn, that's a tall bitch. Fuck, would I be like 6'3" in heels? 6'4" in heels? That's insane. Damn, that's a tall bitch. God damn. I'd be a tall ass bitch if I was a chick. God damn. I'd scare motherfuckers. Cut off the alcohol and you can be sexy for a while. For a long time. The thing is too, it's like it's more of like, this is so true. I've heard this from multiple people and I've seen it. If you're 40 plus and in shape, it's a flex. Yeah, Latinas go from Selena, and Selena had work done, so I don't believe this whole Selena shit. Like Selena is like our, I don't know. It seems like almost a fuck. This seems almost terrible to say this because it's like I think this is actually like, I get mad at even saying this, but like Selena's our Beyonce, really. But like it's gonna be like thing we could say, but like Beyonce is becoming lamer as we get older, you know, because I mean, like we're finding out how much shitty shit she does, along with the whole Jay-Z. I'm still a Jay-Z. I'm a big fan of his music and stuff and everything like that, but like he's done some scummy ass business shit that I don't like, and like so is Beyonce. So like Beyonce, as time goes on, their legacy I think is becoming weaker over time. Where like I think if Kanye died today, his legacy would only grow brighter. Kanye would be someone that would be remembered forever. Like we're gonna remember Kanye like Biggie and Tupac for the next 50, 60 years. Like we're like I believe Jay-Z and Beyonce are going to become less relevant as time goes on. That's some bars right there, dog. The main problem with Latinas is like, you can't talk about Latinas. Yes, I can, motherfucker. Absolutely. It's one thing. If I can talk about anybody, I can talk about these fucking Latina hoes because I'm Latino. Just like black people can talk about black bitches, right? I can talk about fucking these Mexican hoes. We just have a shitty workout culture. Now we have working ethic and like manual labor. That stuff's ingrained. It's just we're one cycle behind. I think next, like right now, the Zoomer chicks are working. The Zoomer Mexican chicks are working out like 4 times more than the Mexican chicks. Like I literally see it. The Mexican Latina chicks that I grew up with in high school and stuff didn't know the concept of working out unless they were in sports. They do not go to the gym. That's why they look like trash. Most of them. Absolutely. Like, absolutely. You know? What about hairy arm Latinas? That's just a certain genetic makeup and stuff. I mean, it's okay, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I've met a couple of them, but most of them, like, they get that shit lasered. I know some chicks that got that shit lasered off over time. Yeah, Gen Zers, like our little brothers and sisters. They saw how we're fucking up. Like as an example, like Kyle and his chick and stuff like that. They're working out all the time. They're in way better shape than we were in the. And obviously, I worked out, so I was in shape. But that's the thing is the millennial dude was working out. The millennial chick was not working out. Now, obviously, some people, I was sure, but you were a small subsection. Like it was like 5% of the millennial women were actually working out. Still, that's a lot. That's millions of people. The millennial dudes were working out, and like even me, like even as a Mexican millennial dude, I was ahead of the curve. I was working out in the gym with mostly fucking white guy. I remember back in 2009, 10, 11, 12, it was just black, Asian, and like I was like one of the few Mexicans in that hoe. Now there's hella Mexicans in the fucking gym now, but they're all Zoomers. We had a trend set and stuff. Like there was no beaners working out. It was always, I mean, of course, because like they're part of the culture. They've been here forever. Like they're part of the culture, right? There's a huge thing from like Arnold and stuff, right? But it was fucking always black, white, and fucking and a little bit of Asian. Asians actually come up too because they're just naturally skinny, so they didn't need the gym as much. But like now, the Asians much more represented. There's a lot of really cool clubs and shit. Like JK News, one of the big reasons I think a lot of more Asian communities have been working out and more in the deadlift community because like if you see JK News. Those guys got heavily into powerlifting. That's why there's so much Asians in powerlifting now because of JK News, and that's because of the internet. And those guys were millennials. Maybe younger Xers, but millennials that inspired all the younger brothers and sisters who are watching them on YouTube that all gone like if you think of an Asian, they're powerlifting. Seriously, like it's kind of crazy when you think about it, but yeah, like if you like most Asians are powerlifting or pretending to basically. Like I see more Asians with weightlifting belts than any other race. I got my belt in. Pretty nice. I think it's like 13 or whatever thickness. Pretty good belt. So I've got my belt in for a long time, dude. This is the first time I got this kind of belt. I've always got kind of more of the adjustable nylon belts and stuff, but on the ground. Oh, that's massive, dog. Oh yeah, for sure. I ended up going with the Gym Reapers one actually because I was like, oh, that's actually not bad. Bottle pop? What do you mean? Yeah, I don't know what you mean by bottle pop. What do you mean? I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, I am late to the workout game. Honestly, I indoctrinated myself one time to watch women's standards. I woke up 2 years ago. Hey, brother, it's not too late. You're a dude. Like, we're blessed with time. Father Time. Like, Father Time's on our side. Like, if you ever think about it, look, Lady Luck is on the women's side. Father Time's on our side. That's why we age gracefully. That's why women age like milk. But that's why women get all the luck in the beginning. We get the love of time over time. I used to say this all the time. I was like, Father Time is who's your mom and dad? Father Time and Lady Luck. You know, our hard work can make a difference in our lives. Now, it's still hard work still to make like if you have a chick that's naturally beautiful. You have a chick that does Pilates. That even though like supposedly Pilates does build muscle and stuff, but it doesn't get you like really in shape and shit. I mean, what you do if you're skinny and stuff, that's a lie. But like you don't build that much muscle on Pilates once you've already kind of developed it. But like burning calories, you know, you get your stabilization muscles. Like so you have a chick that doesn't work out and a chick that does Pilates. Same, let's say two twin girls, right? They don't get fat. The Pilates girl is going to look more banging. That's it. You know? We must do the work, man. There's time, dog. But get into it. Just get into it, bro. The main thing, like one thing that's helping my weight loss is like I've added cardio. I've added cardio to my workouts, and it's just walking at an incline. 15 incline walk. Like I started at a 1. I was a big dude. I started my cut. I think my cut was at 282 pounds was what I started the cut at. I just weighed myself this morning. I'm 260. I'm still heavier than Bradley Martin right now. I've been doing cardio, running 2-3 miles a day, made me look younger. It's crazy. Yeah, but like you have to be careful. There's an upwards there's like 2 to 3 miles is not that bad. That's about, I wouldn't push it too much unless you want to just do it for fun. If you love running, then hey, that's you, dog. But eventually, I know, look, so I have a lot of my richer clients when I was doing landscaping all were into super cardio, like either cycling or running. And they started aging themselves very terribly because the harder you go, once there's a certain point of like no return where like you start running 5 miles a day and all this other crap, you'll start aging your body and you start looking like shit, basically. So, being able to run a mile or 2 or 3 is like really healthy. I think that's incredible. But 2, you have to do it when you're not so fat as well because you'll fuck your knees up. And marathon running is like I think doing a marathon, maybe if you did it once a year or every 2-3 years, I think that's fucking healthy as fuck. But just consistently running all the time, I think is very bad for you. You can walk every day for long distance. We're built for walking, you know. Doesn't cardio eat muscles? Sort of. Nah, I mean, if you do high level, if you're doing really hard, if you're running, like what's his name is running, yeah, you'd fuck your muscles up. You still build muscle because if you're young still, you'll build muscles. But there's a certain point in time where you just won't build anymore because you're not growing in weight anymore as well. They're like, there's like the 3 let me see if I can find the 3. God damn it. I hate how they changed Google where you can't just like expand the fucking picture. It's so gay, dude. All right, I guess that's fine. I hope Goggins doesn't end up like Ronnie. I think he's heading that way, respectfully though. But he's tough. But I mean, the knees can be fixed. He can replace knees and shit and everything like that. He'll just keep getting knee replacements. As long as you don't fuck your back up or your neck, I think he's gonna be good. But like, it's gonna be a rough path for sure. But if you look at this right here, right? These are like kind of the body types and stuff. Like there's like ectomorph, mesomorph, endomorph, right? I'm probably personally more on the. They also made this guy bigger. Like usually the mesomorph's smaller than the endomorph, but like so this is a hard gainer. This is like a skinny. It's usually just a skinny guy. These aren't hard fast rules, but like roughly most people fall into either one of the 3 categories, either in between or directly in one of the categories. If you're on the far left here with the mesomorph, this means a guy that has a lot of muscle, low body fat, and stuff like this. But can build muscle. That's like really great genetics, basically, right? Then you have ectomorph, the hard gainer. This is like a skinny guy. These guys actually, believe it or not, are some of the guys who can do the best on steroids, ectomorphs, because they're so skinny. When they hop on roids, they look incredible when they get on steroids. Endomorph, which I'm more on the endomorph side. Basically, I can gain weight very easily. Basically, endomorphs gain fat, can get fat really easily, but can also gain muscle very rapidly as well. So there's a bonus to it. So you can get fat and muscly very quickly. faster than the mesomorph can, but the mesomorph just keeps building muscle over time, and then just stays really jacked and just aesthetically looks better. So it's hard. So it's like everyone's somewhere in between there, basically. The endomorphs can gain and lose weight very easily, but as you get older, they end up just tending to be fat, which is what ends up happening. But can get very strong and muscly and stuff. A lot of power, like, I mean, you can get a ton of muscle here. These guys end up usually going to powerlifting and stuff like that. These guys are great body. I mean, this is like the epic genetics, right? Obviously, these guys getting on roids is incredible, but most people are probably somewhere in here, really. Like, if a true mesomorph, you people really can tell. Like, goddamn, that's like Ronnie Coleman level sort of genetics. Are just like, you know, a lot of muscle. The body fat stays off and stuff like that. Can gain muscle. A lot. There's in Latinos, like I would say probably like 70% of Latinos are on the endomorph side. 30% are just some skinny, lanky guys. We all know them, and a lot of white guys like that too and stuff like that. But like usually the Instagram guys you guys see, they're usually ectomorphs, like super skinny guys. And when they hop on roids, they look really good because their body's naturally smaller like that. So when they put on muscle, it looks very aesthetic. And these guys get on roids, they look incredible anyway. And this guy, when these guys get on roids, you got to be careful to lose weight because they can get fatter on steroids, basically huger on muscles, but they can get it could have very bad detrimental effects. Yeah, true mesomorphs are rare. Yeah, so you're probably close. You're not an ectomorph. Ectomorphs have trouble gaining weight, but it's just because they're also being bitch made and not eating. At the end of the day, the ectomorph and the endomorph have to. I mean, the ectomorph has to eat, and they're just being scared about eating. They think they just get full really easily, but they have to force themselves to eat. The ectomorph can basically gain weight really easily because they can just eat, but like they have to watch what they eat. And then the mesomorph, it can get fat as well. Like you've seen guys who in the NFL, they look incredible. Then they stop working out, they lose weight, they get really fat, basically. But at the end of the day, like these are mostly all true kind of when you're younger. Like these are like really true in the teenage years. And then once you get in your late 20s, your bad health choices start affecting you. It doesn't matter. A true mesomorph will end up turning into what looks like an ectomorph because he's just not taken care of. He's partying, eating bad food, and just like not working out. He'll turn to shit. It's the truth. Is Andrew Tate a mesomorph? No. No, he's more of an ectomorph. Close, like ectomorph with a little more. Like, it's sort of like, if I had to say, Andrew Tate's probably somewhere like, if this is the middle between like these two, he's like probably somewhere over here. He's tall. He's very tall as well. When you're taller, it's easier to stay skinnier. When you're taller, lankier, skinnier, and stuff. This is why you don't if you look at most of Mr. Olympias, they're all between 5'10" and 11, 5'8", 5'10", 11. It's very rare to get a Mr. Olympia winner that's 6 foot or taller. Justin Waller is closer to he's essentially, I'd say he's like over here. He's closer to an ectomorph, but he's on this side. He's got mesomorphic sort of tendencies, but he's a very tall guy as well. But worked out a lot. You know, he did football when he was in football, had a lot more weight and stuff like that. And he's also watching what he's eating. He's working out a lot. He's very in shape, but it's just because he's very in shape. But I would probably put him closer to like in between ecto and mesomorph, basically. But at the end of the day, but like the reason too, like you could let's just say you could be an endomorph, which is like the fatter guy right there. But if you just get leaned out and in shape, everyone thinks you're a mesomorph. This is why these are really good, like general things in the beginning, but like it all comes down to body fat. If you're just super in shape, skinny, everyone thinks you're an endomorph. Like it's lucky for you to say you always look great. Well, it's because I'm low body fat. These all get muddled away and when your body fat's low. Basically, right? I'm surprised Myron is more jacked than AT. Who's AT? I don't know who that is. Oh, Andrew Tate. Oh, is that supposed to be Andrew Tate? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I personally think lifestyle-wise, I think because I've never seen Andrew Tate in person, but I've seen Myron a lot of times. Myron I think Myron is more consistent with his workouts and actually works out in like how more of a traditional bodybuilder sort of style. He has much more routine. Because like Andrew Tate's a lot. I think Andrew Tate's much busier and more like on the personal. He has more women and the kids and stuff, and has to travel a lot more than Myron does. Myron does travel, but Myron is very much a man of routine. So I just personally think, I just think from what I've seen, from what I know of their lifestyles, I'm only judging off of like Andrew Tate versus the internet versus me knowing Myron in real life and seeing him in person. Myron is much more disciplined than Andrew. Yeah, Myron's an ectomorph. He's tall and stuff. But like if Myron got on steroids, he would look incredible. He already looks good already, but he's naturally skinnier. But he's very low body fat, very strong. I mean, strong for his weight and stuff, and like for how low body. Because like when you're really low body fat, there's just a certain limit. You can't get certain strength, especially if you're natty as well. Pause. I guess, or I don't know what the pause is for, but sure. I identify as a mesomorph. Yeah, like the thing is when you're natty and low body fat, you look like normal in a t-shirt. You take your t-shirt out, like he looks incredible and stuff like that. But so Myron's in very good shape, very good cardio shape. He's very healthy. He's in very good shape, but he's much more disciplined. Myron doesn't drink much. Tate drinks. Tate smokes. Tate goes on these long things. Tate's like spending time fucking bitches and shit, which is totally okay. I mean, as Myron does as well, but like probably to a lesser extent, just because he's on his mission and he's grinding more he's doing more lives and stuff and shows. He's very busy and stuff. So, yeah. It's just consistency, and he's very it's from what I see. Yeah, but most guys, I mean, really all you need is a little cardio, but like walking cardio or just like zone 2 cardio. I mean, sure, once in a while, yeah, you can push it, try to run a little bit, but like when you're lower in body fat and you still like walk and do stuff and you work out, you're in moderately very good shape. Yeah, sex is cardio. That's right. Okay, so we got The World Is Yours, man. I think this is Mike Jones right here. Fight all switch. Curious where Palomos tops out this bull run. How soon will the rocket take up? Is it okay to buy now? Yeah, I mean, well, I think it's good. You can buy some right now. You're buying basically at the sack rate or below sack rate right now on Palomos, but it is a game fight token. So like, don't let it fucking become this massive portion of your fucking portfolio. At no point are we recommending you make this 90% of your portfolio. That's very dumb. But it's going to move later in the year. You need Ethereum to move. I think the real move with this is going to happen in 26, basically. So, yeah, because GameFi hasn't moved, so why would it move, Myron Jr., Miguel, how do I get as handsome as you? Oh, my God, bro. It's workout. But thank you. What percent is too much profit taking? Think about shaving off some nobody. I think 10% is a good number. I think anything less than 10%, I think is not worth it unless you're just shaving it off. Like you're like, let me shave off a bit of these odd numbers just to like move it off to something else that's different. Versus like you're 10%. That way, like if the price goes down 50%, you're able to like gain an extra 10% of extra supply when you buy back in. Right. I think anything less than 10% of a profit takings is not that much. The Royal Hexagon with the $20 super chat. Would you mind sharing your thoughts about RH direct marketing campaign he's been planning? I think it's a good idea. Obviously, he's going to mail it to the richest areas in the world, in the United States, in terms of like postal code. Hopefully, it brings some traction. I think we're going to get a lot of Twitter because like there's a lot of rich people in crypto Twitter that are going to get those things and be like, "What the fuck is this? I got this horse shit in the mail. What is this?" And then that'll cause people to like pay attention to it. So I think it's good. It's outrage marketing in a way. I think generally some people will like it's like it's a numbers game. If you shoot your shot at 1 million chicks, let's just say somehow you were able to shoot your shot at 1 million chicks, a small percentage. I mean, even if you weren't that great looking, some percentage would say what's up, basically, and you'd be able to filter from there. Imagine you were able to do like you're able to DM somehow, like you were able to like a million chicks every day for a month. 30 million individual. If they're all 30 million different women, I mean, I'd be shocked if you at least didn't get 3 dates or 3 kind of responses, right? You'd get something basically out of it. But yeah, 10 steps a day, intermittent fasting, 24-hour fast, drop 32 minutes. Yeah, it's pretty, but you also gotta, make sure you hit your protein numbers. That's the important part. Protein number. That's one thing I'm hitting on this cut is I'm aiming for about, now I'm not aiming for about a gram per body fat per body weight, because I'd have to eat like 260 grams of protein, but I'm aiming for about like 220 personally. 220 grams of protein. That's hitting a little bit like that's about right. Sometimes I do get 260 just because I eat a little bit extra or something like that in terms of some protein, but like I'm usually shooting for like 220. One thing that's helped me out a lot is I get cravings in the middle of the night, like pretty heavy duty. I don't really get cravings much in the daytime. Just because I'm busy, I'm working out, I'm drinking coffee, I'm going to the gym, I'm driving here or there, doing stuff, watching videos. I'm locked in. Little nicotine helps as well if you want some. And if I give one recommendation, if you are going to take like this nicotine pouches, I'd recommend just taking the small ones, like the 3s. All the guys I know that are doing 6s and they're doing like 2 pouches a day. Like they like it's easier to like I can do this once in a while, like not as a meal suppressant, but like that's what some people use these for. They use nicotine to basically kill their appetite. It's like smoking a cigarette or whatever for them. But like I use it more of an energy boost here and there, or kind of like and then that energy boost ends up just making me free. If you think about it as an energy boost versus like I'm taking this so I don't get hungry, because I think that's kind of like thinking like a bitch. I don't know. I'm just getting away from that girl mentality. But yeah, but I know all the guys that start having a problem with nicotine are doing 6s and they start buying the cut. Like there's companies that sell like 12s and 10s. That you're going a little far, basically. Yeah, I tried a Zyn, got dizzy, threw up. Don't do nicotine. Yeah, that's what's definitely going to happen if you're not used to it. So like, I didn't throw up on it because I usually smoke a cigar once a month, maybe every other month. I smoke a cigar. So if you've smoked a cigar before, you can probably handle it a little bit better. But like, it's the sort of thing where like you have to build a tolerance for it. But like, if you feel at any point in time, I get some. I mean, sometimes like if you're on an empty stomach, I try some of this stuff and I'm like, I feel a little bit, throw it away, and then stop doing it. Yeah, stick to 3s, and there's some really good ones. The coffee ones are really good, or the there's some citrus. I like the citrus, so the cinnamon one's pretty good. That's about it. I mean, all of them are decent, basically. I don't get people who take the ones that don't taste like anything. I was like, that's fucking weird. But creatine's really good for you. Like I take creatine monohydrate. Let me see if I can find it real quick. 1 second. Yeah, high dosing creatine, but don't take it all in one shot. Like you have to take it throughout the day. But at my strongest, I was taking creatine about 3 scoops a day. I was taking like in the morning when I woke up, 1 scoop in the daytime. I'd take it in my work truck. Another time when I would go to the gym, basically right before I go to the gym, I take an extra scoop, and I was strong as fuck. But I was doing 15 grams a day. But you have to make sure to drink a fuck ton of water. Just get your creatine in as best you can. I've heard good things about some of the creatine gummies, but I just feel like you're probably not getting enough. But maybe I'm just like, that's just me being old school, because they tried creatine gummies back in the early 2010s and they were pretty dog shit. Maybe now the tech's gotten better and then how it works, basically. But the brands, look, what I recommend a certain type, and it's CreaPure. Doesn't matter the brand. German creatine has CreaPure in it. It's one of the few creatine that's not made in China. It's made in Europe. Very good, 99% basically creatine. It mixes really well. You can dry scoop it. Most creatine, if it's not microtized, it's basically like you're drinking chalk, but still regular chalk. Creatine monohydrate works great, but I wouldn't be shocked there's a little bit of fucking like iron or fucking like lead in that shit, because the Chinese like to fuck with people probably. But yeah. But yeah, this is a good brand. This shit used to cost, I shit you not, $8. This used to be $8 fucking dollars. Creatine monohydrate, what's called German creatine, that's made by Creapure, which is the brand name, Creapure. This used to be $8 for this tub. This is $50 to $60 now. $50 to $60. Still great. I still buy it, but like that's inflation right there. God damn. And that's from 2010, 11, 12. Like the prices didn't increase. COVID's what increased the prices crazy. But like in 2019, it was like $15 or $16. So it doubled a little bit, but like man. After COVID, the prices have not gone back down, dogs. Like, let me see if I can find it. Depending where you buy it, it could be $40 if you're lucky and stuff, but a lot of times they're 50 plus, you know. It's crazy no one has set up a factory here in the United States to make creatine, because you can make some money on that shit, because if war ever breaks out, we're going to be out of creatine. The Chinese will cut the supply off. Yeah, the creatine gummies have high sugar, unless they use Splenda or some crap like that, or whatever the fuck they call it. Does creatine make you break out in acne? Not really. No. But if you already have acne, you're going to have acne anyway. Usually what's happening is like you're gaining weight. Like look, I'm losing weight right now. I'm getting no acne at all, because you're clearing your system out and shit. And if you have acne, you're probably like, don't eat fucking peanut butter. Don't eat like, every time I ate fucking besides pistachios, every time I ate fucking almonds or walnuts or fucking or macadamia nuts, I'd break out. So you're sensitive to fat, basically. But there's a recent study that came out. Like, now this is a lot. They said, let's just say you're sleep deprived and you're all fucked up. They've proved that they can reverse you being fucked up from being sleep deprived by ingesting 25 grams of creatine a day. Interesting. So if you took 5 scoops of this, you could get rid of like you fucking up your sleep. I might have to experiment. But yeah, I'm only taking 5 right now because I eat a lot of red meat. So red meat. So if you eat a pound of red meat, so like one scoop of this is equal to 1 pound of red meat, effectively. So I usually take 1. I might boost it up to 10 now. I might do 2 scoops, and then with all the meat I'm eating and shit, and pause. No diddy. But yeah. I don't eat anything with that comes with more than 7 ingredients on the label. Okay, let me see the label here. Supplement facts: 54 servings per container. Creapure creatine monohydrate, 5 grams. Other ingredients, none. Okay, there's 1 ingredient. I don't trust creatine. It's smelly. Someone put their dick in your creatine, dog. Creatine does not smell like nothing at all. Someone put their dick in your creatine, dog. There's a lot of flavored. I don't get the hype. Don't fucking buy. Hopefully you don't have to buy flavored creatine. There's like all kinds of like flavor creatines and shit. Fuck horse shit, dude. It ends up making it more chunky and crap. Super stupid. It makes people stink. What are you eating? What are you eating? Curry, dog? The fuck are you talking? How does it make people stink? What are you talking about, dog? Man, I was on hella creatine before, so I guess that bitch is like to gobble my nuts and dick out at the same time. I guess she loved the smell. So with that, man, thank you so much for joining me, man. We talked about from muscle building and creatine to the Fed talks, the rate cuts, nobody. We talked about some cool SUI plays to possibly pay for the next crypto mindset course. We talked about a whole lot of stuff, super chats, everything in between, the red pill. I mean, this one was jam-packed. I actually lowered the amount of beams I did on this one just because I really wanted to give a lot of information. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We will be having Moon Gang on my channel tomorrow. It's going to be me and Charlie doing Moon Gang tomorrow, Sunday, and all kinds of other jazz, man. I love you guys, man. Be sure to join the Citadel. You guys, the Crypto Mindset course is coming up right now. In 1 month, we'll be back in the Crypto Mindset course. If you join the Citadel right now, you'll be able to get off $50 off the Crypto Mindset course for every month that you're in the Citadel. So that stacks with each other. So if we give any other discounts, you'll be able to take these discounts and those combined, which is really great. We have 550 plus members in the Citadel right now. We have a lot of discussions in there. We answer questions. We give a weekly newsletter. I mean, just the amount of sauce we give out there is crazy. And as well as when we're during the course, we're off of YouTube for a whole month, a month plus, because we're going to be teaching the Crypto Mindset course and the next Cash Out course. So we're literally going to be off of YouTube for most of September, for the end of September, probably most of the next month afterwards. I mean, from what I see right now, if I'm looking at we're going to be off of YouTube for most of October. Damn. It's going to suck to be you guys if you don't join, man. So be sure to sign up, you guys. The Citadel, man, it's a great option. You get tons of benefits, and you don't get left behind. So with that, man, thank you so much for joining me, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow on Moon Gang. And, yeah.
You've got women and faggots on one side, and you got real niggas on the other. Real niggas. Real men, real guys with real balls. That's the difference.
You buy this for $39.99, guess what, folks? You take the L away. You put a W there, baby. You're a winner, man. You're the real deal. You're picking up chicks. Let me tell you something. You buy this set at $39.99, baby, you're the cock of the walk, man. You walk into the bar and you just find the hottest chick and you go, you, me. Guess what? She says, why would I go out with you? Because I bought the deal on Wild West Deals for $39.99, that's why. She says, can I go home with you? That's how simple it is. That's how it works. That's what this set brings to the table. Because you know what she sees? She sees a man who knows what he wants. She sees a man who says, good deals don't get by me, baby. I move. I act quick. I act now. I go to wildwestdeals.com. Boom. That's why you're hanging with chicks all night long. That's why you got guys like Michael Jordan calling you, wanting to hang out with you, baby. Because you bought it for $39.99.